This is Retro Sports Radio. Visit RetroSeasons.com for more sports history.
Speaking to you once again from Cleveland's Municipal Stadium, where we're just moments away from the opening kickoff of this game between the Cleveland Browns and the New York Jets. Right now, the Drum and Bugle Corps from Marion, Ohio, getting ready to raise the Stars and Stripes, as we will have our national anthem in front of this capacity crowd of about 83,000. They reached the standing room only sale sometime about 4 or 5 o'clock this afternoon, so they knew they had sold out, and they started selling the standing room tickets then, and they should reach for the 13th straight time a crowd of 80,000 or more. It should number between 82 and 83,000. And among these 82,000 plus is the Commissioner of Football, Pete Rozelle. Well, we have a moment here before our national anthem and before the teams are introduced. The referee is Norm Schachter, and the umpire is Jerry Hart. The head linesman is Roy Sonnenberg, and your line judge is Jack Fetty. John Fouch is your back judge, and your field judge is George Ellis. So we'll be ready with the opening kickoff in just 1 minute.
The big cat on top of your Mercury dealer's sign is looking pretty proud about a new and better full-size Mercury Monterey. You can see it at your Mercury dealers.
Better ideas make better cars. It's as simple as that. Mercury makes better cars at the sign of the cat.
Mercury Monterey. We take the best styling ideas from the luxury class and then add the roominess and comfort of our biggest cars to bring you a better full-size car. Mercury Monterey. You'll find it surprisingly easy to afford.
Underwood, Lincoln Mercury at 231 South Market Street in Worcester can show you a full range of Monterey hardtops, wagons, and four-door sedan.
Better ideas make better cars. It's as simple as that. Mercury makes better cars at the sign of the cat.
A certain amount of reaction from the crowd here as several of the New York Jet ball players came out of the dugouts on the far side of the field, and when the fans saw them, they received the usual anything but laudatory reception. And now the introduction of the New York Jets, and I imagine they will go with the offensive team since the Jets will take over first and receive the kickoff. And here comes John Smith, the center. Number 52 in his 7th year from Hofstra. He's followed by the left guard, Randy Rasmussen, his 4th year from Kearney State. Here comes the right guard, Dave Herman, number 67 in his 7th year from Michigan State. Number 75, the left tackle, is Winston Hill, 8th year from Texas Southern. The right tackle is Roger Finney, 2nd year from Florida A&M. Here comes the split left end, George Sauer, 6th year from Texas, number 83. Pete Lammons is the tight end, 5th year from Texas. Here comes Don Maynard, the flanker, in his 12th year from Texas Western. And here comes Emerson Boozer, the left half from Maryland State, one of the running backs, followed by Matt Snell. Here comes Joe Namath. Joe Namath on just about from the 10-yard line up to the 40, took his time. You know the reception he got. Now there's a general introduction for the Cleveland Browns, and now they'll be introduced defensively and individual. Ron Snidow, 8th year from Oregon, the left end, comes onto the field, followed by Walter Johnson, 6th year, Los Angeles State. Here comes the rookie Jerry Shirk, and he must have butterflies in his stomach, Oklahoma State. And Jack Gregory, the right end from Delta State, in his 4th year. He's followed by John Garlington, the left linebacker, in his 3rd year from LSU. And here comes Captain Jim Houston, 11th year, Ohio State. On the right side of the linebackers is Dale Lindsey, 6th year from Western Kentucky. Here comes Erich Barnes, left cornerback. This is Erich's 13th year from Purdue. He gets a rousing reception. In his 2nd year from Florida, Walt Sumner, number 29. Here comes Ernie Kellerman, the left safety. He is the strong side safety, 5th year from Miami, followed by Mike Howe, 6th year at Grambling. And here come the Cleveland Browns. Well, sir, you can get an idea of the tempo. And right now, with the Browns starting unit at the center of the field, the rest of the team coming onto the sidelines, we're going to have a choral group singing the national anthem, and then this ball game will get underway. Ladies and gentlemen, here now is our national anthem. Jam-packed house, ladies and gentlemen. We've had the Lord's Prayer played by the Marion, Ohio Drum and Bugle Corps. We've had the national anthem as sung by the George Stone Singers, a popular male chorus out of Cleveland, Ohio. The director is Mr. George Stone. You just heard them. We'll have a reenactment of the flip of the coin with the referee Norm Schachter, and representing the New York Jets is their outstanding middle linebacker Al Atkinson, is their captain, and the Browns, at least at the initial flip of the coin, had just two captains for tonight's game, Leroy Kelly offensively and Jim Houston defensively. Sometimes Blanton Collier, as you know, appoints a special teams captain. Tonight, I think they will go out with just two of them. Earlier, those Jets did win the flip of the coin, and they'll be moving away from the bleachers as the Browns and the New York Jets get off on this first Monday night game. It's a first for the Browns as far as the old All-American or American Football Conference is concerned, I should say, and it's the first time the Browns have met the Jets, although we mentioned earlier the Jets did show here 2 years ago in the first game of the doubleheader, and in that one Joe Namath played about a quarter and a half, as I recall. Joe came into camp late, even later than most of the striking veterans, but he has come on strong in games and looked very good against the Dallas Cowboys. He is completing about 50 to 51% of his passes. They had earlier behind Joe Namath, Babe Perilli, whom they let go. And Joe has behind him a quarterback from Duke by the name of Al Woodard. And Jim Turner is also a quarterback, but he hasn't had any experience or any action this year. He is their place kicker. He had the 3 field goals in the Super Bowl, an outstanding place kicker, and Tom O'Neill does their punting. As you know, this past week, Don Cockroft, the last of the Browns to be unsigned, he wasn't holding out, he was just unsigned, came to terms. Here comes Joe Namath across the field with Al Atkinson, and out to greet them, Jim Houston and Leroy Kelly, Norm Schachter to do the usual introductions and the flip of the coin. I don't even think they flip it on this reenactment because they know what it is. This is for the benefit of the crowd that comes late. And the Browns are receiving their final instructions from Blanton Collier, who said hello to Weeb Eubank. Weeb Eubank on the far side now has split his huddle. He is wearing his coat now. Blanton Collier's in his shirt sleeves. The captains come back to their respective huddles. And the New York Jets line up with their kickoff return unit when the Browns are receiving tonight Homer Jones. This is a change in their previous games. Homer Jones will be on the kickoff return unit. Number 85, and as we mentioned, should Gary Collins go out of this ball game because of his bad leg, Fairhooker goes to the right and Homer Jones to the left. The Browns are now taking the field, and Don Cockroft has the ball on the 40-yard line. It's a muggy night. Temperatures in about 82, 83 degrees. There is a considerable wind, but you can't tell which way it's blowing because on one end of the field it goes one way, and on the other end it goes the other. That's what happens when you have stadiums built like this stadium and the wind swirls. We're all set for action. Don Cockroft, the 1970 season, getting underway for the Browns and the Jets. Here to call the game for you, as usual, is Gib Shanley. Thank you, Jim Graner. Good evening, everyone. Number 37, George Knock. Number 40, Mike Battle at the goal line. The kick by Cockroft, a little short. Taken by Battle at the 5 to the 10 up the middle. 15-20. Kept away from one man. Hurls another at the 30 and gets knocked down at the 33-yard line. Mike Howell is one of the boys on the tackle. Ball and Freddie Summers is the other. 28-yard return. Ball on about the 33 and a half. Jim gave you the starting lineups. That's the way they come out on the field. Joe Namath, the quarterback. Emerson Boozer, number 32. Matt Snell, number 41, the running backs. The wide receivers are George Sauer and Don Maynard, and Pete Lammons is the slot end. We have Maynard flanked to the right. Sauer splits 5 yards at left end. Lammons out about 1.5 yards at right end. Snell now moves over, lines up right behind Namath. He gets the handoff, tries right tackle, cuts to the outside, is hit by John Garlington and slammed down on the 36-yard line. Mike Howell helped on it, but the left side of Snido and Johnson clogged up any hole that was supposed to be there. Nose of the ball spotted on the 37-yard line, gain of about 4.
Snell tried to go off tackle to his right, then tried to go outside when he was stopped, but Snido turned it in.
Sauer is split about 7 to the left. Maynard now flanking out to the right. Lammons out about 1 yard at right end. Now moves in a half step. Hand off Boozer, left tackle, hits the 40 to about the 41-yard line. Jerry Shirk hanging on, pulls him down. John Garlington an assist on the stop. Ball is over the 40-yard line, about the 40 and a half. Randy Rasmussen, the left guard, led the blocking. Gain of about 3. We have about 3.5 yards to go yet for a first down.
Typical for a passing team, Gib, that starts out running just to show the opposition that they can stay on the ground and move it.
Maynard flank right. Sauer splits 7 to the left. Brown showing a 6-man front. Namath throwing. Screen left lap drop by Matt Snell. He goes back after, but it's an incomplete pass. Namath threw it in front of him. Not a lateral. A hand for the Browns defensive unit as the Jets have to punt. In to do the punting is O'Neill.
Leroy Kelly's going back in punt return, Gib.
Right, with Walt Sumner at the 20. Sumner now up around the 25. Both starting to drop back. A whistle blows as the ball is snapped. We'll do it again. Five-yard penalty against the Jets. Illegal procedure. Sumner and Kelly now back between the 35 and the 25. Good snap. Kick is up. Not too good a kick. Short off the right side of his foot. Now it takes a New York bounce at the 30, 20, but I believe somebody may have touched it up at the 30-yard line. Must have touched one of the Jets. That'll be a 35-yard punt. And the Browns,
they're going to call it a flag. He originally dropped his hat, which you were right, but now a flag went down and they assessed a 15-yard penalty. Interference against the Jets, and the Browns have it on the 45-yard line of New York. Originally his hat went down, Gib.
They don't call that very often. All right, the Browns, of course, have Nelson at quarterback. Gary Collins, the flanker. Fair Hooker, the split end. Milt Morin is the tight end. They're in the I and shift out of it. Hooker now moves out 7 yards, split to the left. Morin out about 1 yard at right end, and Collins flank right. And the fake handoff. Nelson to throw. Drills one. It is caught at the Jets' 43-yard line. Milt Morin with W.K. Hicks hanging on his back. The Browns' tackles are Dick Shafrath and Joe Tafoni. John DeMaury and Gene Hickerson are the guards. Fred Hoagland's the center. That's a 13-yard pickup. Ball spotted on the 42 of the Jets. The Jets up front have Mark Lomas, a rookie at left end. Steve Thompson at left tackle. John Elliott at right tackle. Verlin Biggs at right end. We'll get the rest in a moment as the Browns are out of the huddle. First down and 10. I formation. They go from it. Bo Scott over right guard. Not much of a hole. I doubt he even got back to the line of scrimmage. Steve Thompson on the stop.
along with Al Atkinson, the middle linebacker. They give him about a half-yard loss on the play. The linebackers left to right are Ralph Baker, Al Atkinson, and Larry Grantham. The cornerbacks are rookie Steve Tannen at the left side, rookie Early Thomas on the right side. The safeties are W.K. Hicks and Jim Hudson. Second, about 10.5 to go. Browns in the eye, both ends are in. Collins now moves out to the left, split end. The slot left is Fair Hooker. Handoff, Kelly over left tackle, quick opener to the 40. He's to the 35, close to the 34-yard line. Verlin Biggs on the tackle. John Damari, the left guard, cleared the hole. That's good for, they'll mark it on the 35-yard line. It'll be third and about 3. 7-yard pickup.
Boy, Nelson has come up with some nice play calling, although he's only called 3 plays, but that pass to Milt Morin was off the play action, and it took the linebackers, kept the linebackers up and honest, and then put in his area, and then he put Gary Collins and Fair Hooker on the same side, went up the center, the 7-yard pickup.
Hooker flank left, Collins split 5 to the right, and both cornerbacks are right up on the line now for the Jets. And Kelly on the draw, trap over left tackle. He's to about the 31-yard line. First down. Biggs and Elliott on the tackle. Shafrath and Damari led the blocking. Mark the ball on the 31 of the Jets. 10:35 to play first quarter, no score. Jets had it for 3 and a punt. Browns started at their own, well, they got the punt on the 30. There was a penalty up to the 45-yard line, and it moved from there.
Actually, that ball would have been back on the 10-yard line. They gained 35 yards because of the man hitting the ball in the penalty.
Running from the eye, give to Kelly, and no gain on the play. Thompson, the left tackle on the stop. Browns have not been able to move from the eye formation in 2 tries. That hardly is an indication of anything.
Well, so far he hasn't tested the cornerbacks. Maybe they were expecting that because, as we mentioned, they are the rookies. But so far, Bill Nelson has not tested either one of them. His one pass has gone over the medium center, and he stayed on the ground the rest of the time.
Collins split 7 to the right. Hooker flank to the left. Morin out about a half-yard at left end. Fake to Kelly. Screen to the left to Bo Scott. 35. He's got a convoy to the 25, to the 20, to the 15. He's to the 10. He's out of bounds on the 9. Thomas wrestled him out of bounds with Al Atkinson's help. Damari and Hickerson and Safoni, the convoy. Jets were completely fooled on it. They went for the fake to Leroy Kelly. Ball on about the 9.5-yard line. First down and goal to go.
And actually, the pass was thrown a little behind Scott. He almost lost it, then almost stumbled. And I think if he put his head down at the 10, he could have almost gone in for the touchdown.
Browns out of the huddle in the eye with Collins split 7 to the right. Shifting now. Collins flank right. Both ends in for the Browns. Give to Bo Scott, hitting left tackle to the 9. That's it. Caught by Verlin Biggs, the veteran of the Jets defensive line at right end. And Kelly, I doubt, got a yard on it. No, about a half yard at best. Second and goal. Well, Jim, you're talking about the cornerbacks. The Jets might be doubling up a little to help those rookies, and that may leave something else open.
That could be, very likely, and especially the linebackers can go over, because as you mentioned, they're just like to the rest of the cornerbacks in this conference, they're playing right on the line of scrimmage, nose to nose against those wide receivers.
And they are right now as Collins flanks right. Hand off to Kelly, right tackle, cuts back into the 8, driven down hard. A beautiful tackle by Ralph Baker, caught him right in the midsection and slammed him down with Al Atkinson hitting low. Kelly gets a yard. Third and goal. The ball on the New York 8 with 8.5 minutes to play in a scoreless first period. And traffic is still lined up for miles.
Don Cockroft has his helmet on, and he's exercising that foot. Undoubtedly, at this stage of the game, if they can't pick it up now and they got good yardage on the 3rd and goal, they would go for the field goal.
All right, ends are in. As the eye, they shift out of it. Collins will be split about 10 yards left, and Hooker is slot left. Morin tied it right in. Nelson to throw. He looks, he throws. Touchdown to Gary Collins. right cornerback Early Thomas. 7:56 remaining, first quarter. Don Cockcroft in to attempt the point. 55 yards in 9 plays. The holder, Mike Phipps, at the 10. The snap, the spot, the kick, it's good. There's an official timeout on the field to score. The Browns 7, the Jets nothing.
Nick Amster's Clothing in Worcester is right on with the unsuit look, the latest clothing creations for you young men. The SEWS revolution has never been more relevant than right now with the opening of Barney's Inn at Nick Amster's. The latest colors, cuts, and cloths in body shirts, flare bottoms, bells, tank tops, jackets, sweaters, and accessories are all there at Barney's Inn. The whole scene displayed in the open where you can pick and choose, mix and match to suit your own creative tastes for every occasion. Live a little. Use your imagination. Freedom and originality are yours to use in exciting new ways. So do your own thing with your wardrobe at Barney's Inn. Choose from suede cowhides, wool herringbones, denims, cotton velvets, corduroys, skinny rib knits, tweeds, tough threads for you under 30 guys. Go funky formal with the unsuit look at Barney's Inn at Nick Amster's. Make it with a now seen in style. Today's new look geared to the young man who knows what's happening and where it's at. It's all at Barney's Inn at Nick Amster's in Worcester.
Gib on that touchdown. They put Gary Collins out as the flanker, and they slotted Fair Hooker in the same area, and then the free safety came over to help either one, and Fair Hooker was going to the outside, Collins to the post, and the free safety, Jim Hudson, went with a double coverage on Hooker, allowing single coverage on Gary Collins, and no one can cover him on that post pattern by himself. So with 7:56 remaining, the Browns go up 55 yards in 9 plays. Here's Don Cockcroft's first kickoff of the evening.
Knock and Battle are the deep men. Penalty on the kickoff. Knock has it at the 5, 10, 15, 20 right sideline. Ooh, did he get hit at the 25-yard line? Good old face bar. Tom Butler, along with Billy Andrews and Bob Matheson. We may have the Browns offsides. It was dropped at about the 45, the Browns 45. Joe Namath is.
And some of the Browns' kickoff team is coming back. It is offside against the Browns, and the Jets have accepted the penalty, so Don Cockcroft will try it from this time the 35. And they returned it to the 25. Let's see if it's wise. Sometimes these things pay off, sometimes they don't. From up here, the wind would be at Don's back. But as I mentioned, that might be different on the field. Although I do think the flags on the field are flying west-east. Jets have had it just once tonight, had 2 plays on the ground, a pass incompletion, and they punted. They're going to get it the second time right now.
Knock and Battle move up to the 5-yard line now. 12 hit. Knock under it again at the 5. Drops it, picks it up at the 5, 10, 15 right sideline. He's hit hard again on the 23. Fumble the ball. The Jets have it. The Jets have it. Some of the Browns say the Browns recovered it, but the referee's right on the spot. Bob Matheson's the man who made the tackle. 17-yard return. Ball on the 22-yard line. Well, they lost 3 yards on the second kick. Almost lost the ball. Maynard is the flanker to the right. Lammons out about a yard at right end, and Sauer splits 5, 6, 7 yards at left end. Boozer and Snell, the running backs. Give to Snell. Left tackle breaks open at the 25-30, spins away to the 35-yard line. Sumner and Howell made the tackle. 13-yard pickup as they split Gregory and Johnson. I'm sorry, Gregory and Shirt.
Boy, and all of a sudden, Gib, it looked like he was just going to about hit the line of scrimmage. As soon as he got there, he had that opening, and it did open up big for 13 yards to the 35.
Maynard flank right. Lammons out about a yard at right end. Sauer split 5 to the left. Namath the throw. Fires. It is caught at the 49-yard line. It's Maynard, and Ernie Kellerman drags him down. That'll be another first down. That's good for about 14.
Ernie had real good coverage on Maynard on that play, too. But remember, you're up against Maynard and you're up against Namath. That was one of the faster ones that he throws, and he spiked that right in there on the button, which isn't unusual for Broadway Joe.
Now we have Sauer as a flanker to the left, and Maynard split about 5 to the right, and Lammons out about a yard at left end. And off, Boozer, left tackle, no hole, hit down at the line of scrimmage by Jack Gregory. Gregory was fighting off the block of Dave Herman and hit Boozer right at the ankle and upset him. No gain, 2nd and 10. 5:47 to play, first period, 7-0 Cleveland. Maynard is flanked to the right. Sauer splits 7 at left end. Moves in now, a couple of steps. Well, moves back out again. Namath hands off on the draw to Snell. Shirk's got him at the 50 and hauls him down. Jerry Shirk, former wrestling champion, wrestled Matt Snell down. Walter Johnson had an assist. It'll be 3rd and 9 at the 50.
Maybe it just looks it up here, Gib, but it looked like Namath had that ball way out in front of him, which takes away the deception of a handoff like that, but maybe down on the field it's different. I don't know, but it was obvious up here. He stuck it way out.
Maynard will flank right. Sauer out 7 to the left. Lammons out a yard at right end. Namath to throw. Sets. Drills it. It is out of bounds and deflected out of bounds, and a beautiful play by Walt Sumner. Intended for Sauer at the Browns' 35-yard line, and Sumner just got his hand up to flick it out of bounds. The Jets will have to punt.
Boy, and Namath had to unload that because he got a great rush from Jack Gregory, the defensive right end.
Steve O'Neill will punt for New York. Walt Sumner back in single safety at the moment. I don't see... no, Reese Morrison this time is going back with him. Kick is up. A little short, fair catch, held by Sumner at the 16-yard line. There's an official timeout on the field with the score, the Browns 7, the Jets nothing.
Ever get caught short after regular store hours and need a prescription filled or want some packaged drug products, or maybe cereal or milk or cold cuts for the next morning? Everyone has had this problem at one time or another, and in this area it's solved by Stipes Drug Store opposite the Penn Depot in Worcester. Because Stipes is open from 9 a.m. until 11 p.m. 7 days a week. There's always a registered pharmacist on duty at all times. Free delivery service is available when needed, along with 24-hour emergency service on prescriptions. And you'll find Stipes registered pharmacists careful, competent, and anxious to be of help to you. Also, Stipes offer a full package grocery, dairy, and cold cut line. They have a very complete baby department with baby foods and formula items, and a brand new and more complete cosmetic department featuring complete customer lines by famous Dana, Max Factor, and Corday, as well as many others. Remember now, Stipes Drug Store opposite the Penn Depot, open from 9 a.m. until 11 p.m.
4 minutes and 37 seconds remaining in the first period. The Browns with a 55-yard march and 9 carries. The only time they had their hands on the ball. 2 first downs for the New York Jets is their offensive total. The Browns break. They have it deep on their own 16.
Get a break after this play. Collins is split 7 yards to the right. Now moves back as a flanker. The Browns get out of the eye. Hooker is split about 5 at left end. Hand off to Kelly, sweeping right in. Gets a block from Bo Scott. Hits the 20 and down on about the 24-yard line. Joe Tafoni threw another block. John Elliott made the tackle. Not too bad a block by Bo Scott. That'll be a pickup of about 8. 2nd and 2.
5 carries, 20 yards for Kelly.
Mr. George Flag. Mr. George Flag.
4 minutes, 5 seconds to play. First quarter, 7-0 Cleveland. Browns out of the huddle. Missed the break, didn't we? We'll do it after this one. Hooker is flank left. Nelson to throw. Fires a little short. Too low for Bo Scott up at the 30-yard line. Incomplete. Baker covering the linebacker. 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Cleveland Browns Football Network.
High school, the College of Worcester, Ohio State Buckeyes, and Cleveland Browns football on WWST FM stereo in Worcester.
Gibby had both his running backs crossing on that one. He had Scott coming the sideline, Kelly going over towards the middle, and both of them happened to be open. He chose Scott and just overthrew him by a matter of a foot or two.
They have a third down and still 2 to go. Ends are in. Collins a wing left. Kelly, right tackle, up and over, and I believe he has it close to the 27-yard line. Steve Thompson and John Elliott, the 2 tackles, and Al Atkinson, the middle linebacker, on the stop. Center Fred Hoagland helped clear out the path, and we'll measure.
Well, if this series started on just about the 16, it looks pretty good from up here, Gib.
Sure does.
Not exactly right opposite, but enough that it's a first down. They got it by more than the length of the ball.
A couple of feet to spare. And a timeout, an official timeout on the field. With the score, the Browns 7, the Jets nothing.
This area's most complete lumber yard is the Worcester Lumber Company. The big inventory there saves you a lot of time and money. And the friendly folks at Worcester Lumber try their best to do both for you. Louis Carter has a couple of predictions which should interest anyone considering building this year. First of all, it'll cost considerably more to build during the latter part of this year than it does right now. Another observation by Louis merits a thought. Should a housing boom develop, but building materials will become very scarce. And so it would seem the better plan of action would be to make your plans now for any building you plan to do this year. If you decide to save money by doing all or part of your building yourself, then Worcester Lumber is the place to buy those materials. They'll help you select the correct materials and save you both time and money. If you need it for building, Worcester Lumber Company has it. The store hours are 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. On Saturday, they're open from 7:30 in the morning to 4 in the afternoon. Get those building supplies now and beat the price rise.
The Browns had 4 first downs, including the one on the touchdown. They just picked up one for 5 for the evening. They have the ball on their own 27 with 3:37 remaining in the first period. The 8-yard pass from Nelson to Collins. Cockcroft's conversion came at 7:56. When we give you time, that is time left. And coming back into the huddle is Larry Grantham, a linebacker for the Jets. He is the defensive signal caller.
Browns at the 27, their own 27. Collins splits 5 to the right. Hooker flank left. Milt Morin splits a couple of yards at left end. Give to Kelly, left tackle. He's hit at the 30. Gets close to the 31. Ralph Baker, left linebacker on the tackle, along with Jim Hudson. Up from safety. Pickup of 3.5. Browns with a 7-0 lead first quarter, and we have 3:10 remaining in the period. Bill Nelson has had third down situation 3 times in the period. He's connected on all 3 of them. Jets have missed both of theirs. Collins is split right. Now flank right as Morin comes out of the eye as they slot in. Hooker split 7 to the left. Give to Kelly, trying to sweep right in. He is hit for a loss back on the 29-yard line by Al Atkinson, who helped not only string out the play, make the stop, and Mark Lomas, the defensive left end, who held up most of the Browns' blocking. It's a loss of almost 2. And it's third down. 8 to go.
Nelson has thrown 4 times, just 4 times out of 14 offensive plays, as Kelly has carried 8 for a pickup of 25. Scott has rushed for 2.
Teams sort of probing here in the first period. Collins split 4 to the right. Hooker flank left. Morin splits 2 to the left. Nelson to throw. He drills it in the middle. Uh-oh. Interference. Collins was given an elbow at the 48-yard line by Hicks, number 33, as he went behind him. Gary, the ball wasn't that close to Gary, but of course the defensive back didn't see it, but Hicks gave him an elbow in the back to knock him off stride, and the ball was in the air at the time. So it's a first down at the Cleveland 47. 18-yard penalty. .158 remaining, first period. Hooker is flanked to the left. Collins splits 4 to the right. Morin out a yard at left end. Fake handoff. Nelson rolling to the right. Drills one. And it is another penalty as Collins is upset again. This time it is by Steve Tannen, the rookie cornerback. That one is down on the Jets' 38-yard line. That time Gary was tripped as he made his turn.
That was almost like a clip.
Gary had faked over the middle and cut out toward the sidelines, and that's when Tannen appeared to not knock him down. He almost fell on the Gary and upset him. Another penalty, officially. Browns out of the huddle. Hooker flank left. Collins out 3 to the right. Morin splits a yard at left end. Nelson backpedaling to throw. Set. Fires to Milt Morin. He's got it on the 30 to the 25 to the 20 and down to the 18 with Jim Hudson hanging on. And Jim that time, he only sent 3 receivers out. Kept his running backs back to block.
And Milt Morin was open by about 3 steps on Hudson, who is the strong side man and has the coverage of Milt Morin, and he is the veteran in that backfield.
Ball spotted on about the 19-yard line, so it's a gain of 18.
Nelson has gone to Morin, as you know. Last year he went to Morin a lot. And some of your tight ends now are becoming the leading receivers on some of your ball clubs.
Collins flank right. Booker out 4 to the left. Morin splits a yard at right end. And the ball may be a little wet. Umpire steps in to wipe it off. Stops the clock and it starts again as Hoagland's over the ball. First down and 10. Fake handoff. Screen to the right to Bo Scott. Gets a block at the 20. Scott to the 15, to the 10, to the 5. He's down on the 4-yard line. Larry Granson, the right linebacker. Hickerson threw the big block for him. That's good for almost 16 yards on the play. Ball is on about the 3.5-yard line. Chip Glass in now to help block as the second slot end in the lineup. And we have a minute remaining in the period. Browns leading 7-0, trying to get another one. It is first down and goal to go. Morin and Glass are the ends. They are in tight. Collins is a flanker to the right. Give to Kelly, sweeping right end, 5-2, and out of bounds at the 2. Just couldn't get around the corner. Tannen, the cornerback, helped get him out of bounds. A lot of traffic in that corner. Baker, the linebacker, helped on it. It is second down and goal to go at the 2. That stops the clock, for what it's worth, with 39 seconds remaining in the first quarter. I don't know if the Browns would like to score down on the grass part of the ballpark rather than end the quarter and go down into the baseball infield, the dirt. They could care less as long as they score. Ends are in. Collins now is a wing back to the right. It's second down. Give to Scott. Gets a block from Kelly at the 1. Touchdown! Ran right over Early Thomas, and Leroy Kelly threw the block for him right at the line. 36 seconds remaining in the period. Mike Phipps holding. Don Cockcroft to attempt the point. Kick is up. It's good. So we have a 14-0 lead with 36 seconds remaining in the first quarter.
The Browns have had it just twice, Gib, and they've been able to drive for touchdowns on both of them. 55 yards and 9 carries and 84 yards and 11 plays on that one. They were aided considerably by 2 pass interference calls against the New York Jets, with Gary Collins being the victim of both of them, but I think he was happy. Gary has 1 touchdown reception tonight. Scott in from the 2 on that one. 36 seconds remain the first period as the Browns are up 14-0. And we'll get this return in probably 1 play and end the first quarter. Kelly has 27 yards and 9 carries, and Nelson is 5 out of 6 for 76 yards. He has the 1 touchdown to Gary Collins. Don Cockroft kicks off for the 3rd time tonight.
Battle now back with Ed Bell. Kick by Cockroft. Battle at the 1, 5, 10, 15, right sidelines, 20. Breaks a tackle, 23, hit at the 30, breaks another one, 35, still running, and now gets chopped down by the 39-yard line. Some return of 38 yards, and Joe Jones finally got him down. Mike Howell helped on it. He almost broke that one open.
You know how long he was running when he went from 38 seconds down to 20. It took up 18 seconds on that one, and now the clock is running down to 12.
Maynard flank right. Here's Namath to throw. He sets. He fires. It is caught by Boozer at the 45. He's to the 50, and he's pulled down on the Browns' 46 by Ernie Kellerman, and there's the gun. That's the end of the first quarter with the score. The Browns 14, the Jets nothing.
There's a better personal sports car this year. Its name, Mercury Cougar. Better because it's richer, more luxurious.
Better ideas make better cars. It's as simple as that.
The 1971 Mercury Cougar XR7 combines the best sports car ideas, like tachometer, floor-mounted shift, and big V8, with the best luxury car ideas, like glove-soft high-back bucket seats accented with pure leather, and styling with a European flair. To bring you a better luxury sports car, pound for pound, dollar for dollar, Mercury Cougar is America's best-equipped luxury sports car.
See these better ideas for yourself. Examine the 1971 Mercury Cougar at Underwood, 231 South Market Street in Worcester.
Better ideas make better cars. It's as simple as that. Mercury makes better cars. At the sign of the cat.
The Jets in Browns territory for the first time now as Joe Namath finally connects on one to his running back, Emerson Boozer, and they have the ball on the 46-yard line. Plays in the first quarter, 18 for the Browns and 10 for the Jets. Browns dominated with their 2 drives.
Jets out of the huddle with Maynard flanked to the right. Sauer split about 7 to the left. Lamons out a half yard at right end. 1st and 10. Starting the second period. And off Boozer, breaks over left tackle to the 40. Pick up about 6. Shirk and Kellerman on the tackle. John Schmidt, the center, led the charge off the ball. Namath 2 for 4 in the air. Nelson 5 out of 6. Now we'll have Sauer again, split left by about 7. Maynard flank right. Lamons again splits about a half yard at right end. Namath to throw. He sets. He fires. It's deep. It is batted away down on the 10-yard line as Kellerman and Howell had double coverage on George Sauer. I'm sorry, it was Sumner and Howell, not Kellerman. They were both in front of the ball. Namath put it up high enough that nobody could get it. 3rd down, 4 to go. Maynard flanks right. Sauer out 7 to the left. Lamons again splits about a half yard. Snell now moves directly behind Namath. He gets the handoff. It's left tackle, and he's got a first down with 20 to spare to the 30 to the 28-yard line. Sumner making the tackle, along with Walter Johnson. Browns, I believe, have called timeout. Well, we have a flag drop. The official standing on it. It's against Cleveland.
It'll be a half the distance.
To the 14-yard line from the 28. The personal foul now puts the Jets in business. First threat by New York. Sauer splits 5 to the left. Maynard flanked out to the right. Lamon splits a yard at right end. Namath hands to Snell. Left tackle cuts inside at the 15 to the 10 to the 8. Tripped up by Sumner. Dave Herman, the right guard, pulled out and led the blocking. Ball on the 8.5. The nose of it. That's a pickup of about 5. 14-0 Cleveland. Jets threatening. Second quarter. 13:40 to play. Maynard flanked right. Sauer split 5 to the left. Second down. Namath gives to Boozer, right tackle. He's hit hard at about the 8, maybe the 7.5. Barnes and Houston on it. Lindsay. All placed at about the 7.
Boy, and on that play, Gib, Maynard was split wide to the right, and he was covered by Erich Barnes, and Erich came off of Maynard right off the bat when he saw it was going to be a run and dived into that pile and got in halfway through that tackle.
3rd and 3 on the Browns 7. Maynard flanked right. Sauer out 5 to the left. Lamon's tight at the right side. Give to Snell up the middle to the 3 to about the 2, and he has a first down. I think the Browns smelled pass instead, and Namath fooled them with Matt Snell getting the first down at the 2. The Browns now send in Joe Jones and Bob Matheson to shore up the line for the defensive unit, taking out defensive backs Walt Sumner and Ernie Kellerman. Sauer now is flanked to the left, and Maynard splits 5 to the right. Namath hands to Boozer up the middle, walks in for a touchdown. And the Jets score with 12 minutes, 7 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Now we'll have Jim Turner to attempt the point, and George Sauer will hold. .12:07 to play, second quarter. That's the opponent's first touchdown of the 1970 season. Waiting for the snap. Here's the spot, kicks up. It's good. There's an official timeout on the field with the score. The Browns 14, the Jets 7.
Getting involved and swinging with the times is the theme and the reason for Barney's Inn at Nick Amster's in Worcester. Barney Lehman has the reputation of being in the know when it comes to the latest, most up-to-date styles for men of all ages. And right now, the SEWS revolution is right on, brother, for all you young men with Barney's Inn, featuring the unsuit look. You don't have to spend a bundle to look like a million. Style is what makes the great ones great, and you'll find plenty of style in all the clothing you see at Barney's Inn. From fancy flare pants, tank tops, suede cowhide vests and jackets, bells, all displayed for easy selection. The latest fashions all hang out for you to mix and match to suit yourself. Be you in the clothes you wear from Barney's Inn at Nick Amster's. Young men who belong to the action generation are going to where the action's at. Barney's Inn at Nick Amster's in Worcester.
As we mentioned earlier, Homer Jones would be on the kickoff return unit. He is with Reese Morrison back there. 3 touchdowns tonight, all on the east end of the field. As the Jets are back into this ball game with a 62-yard drive in 8 carries, they too were aided by an interference call, a holding call, personal foul, I guess it was, of some 14.5 yards.
Now Reese Morrison and Homer Jones are deep. The Turner's kickoff is going very deep, and it's 8 yards in the end zone, and Reese Morrison will stay there with it. Touchback, and the Browns offensive unit will move out to start play at the 20-yard line.
That's got to be the way the wind's going, Gib.
Sure was on that one. Well, the Jets back in the ball game. They weren't far out of it. Now just trailing by 7 points and very early in this football game. Capacity crowd at the stadium again. Have Collins now flanked to the right. Hooker split 7 at left end. Milt Morin's out about 3 at right end. Nelson back to throw. Batted away and almost intercepted on the 10-yard line. It was deflected by Elliott. Deflected by Thompson, and Elliott almost picked it off at the 10.
Gib, you've been reading about that one. You've been reading about their various defenses, I think, and on that one, they X'd their tackles in on that, and really must make it very confusing for the Browns offense.
A defensive tackle dropping one of those. He's going to be furious the entire game.
Oh, inside the 15.
That's their chance for immortality. Collins splits to the right. I formation. Nelson back to throw. In the middle. Right behind Milt Morin, incomplete. Threw behind Milt. Milt turned right and the ball went zinging left.
You know, I could be wrong, but that might have been deflected too, Gib.
Well, it's 3rd and 10. Browns out of the huddle. Collins, flank right. Slot left is Kelly, with Hooker split about 10 to the left. Nelson to throw. He fires to Moore, and he's got it 35. He's to the 40, and he's out of bounds on the 45-yard line. Jim Hudson got him out of bounds. First down, plenty to spare. 25-yard pickup.
On another 3rd and 10 situation. The quarterback can look so bad on 2 incompletions and then look so good on the long one.
Fred Hoagland, Jim, peeled back to get Elliott, the right tackle, who was starting to put pressure on Nelson. That helped get a lot extra second. 11:48 remaining. Second period. Browns now least out of the hole. Hooker flank left. Collins split 5 to the right. Morin tight on the left side. Flip to Kelly. Flag down. Kelly turning right in at the 50 and out of bounds by Ralph Baker. Referee threw it. It might be back in motion. Referee and Leroy Kelly are discussing it. Backfield in motion. Referee put the ball on the 39, and the umpire shoved it back where it belongs at the 40. Being a democracy, 1st and 15. Shifting out of the eye. Hooker's a slot left with Collins split left. Give to Scott. Can't get a hole at left tackle. Chopped down for maybe a half-yard loss. Steve Thompson made the big play, along with Verlin Biggs, the right end. Second down, about 16 to go.
They got Scott Holloman in there in safety, Gib number 48, who turned that play in.
Well, he probably will be taking care of the slot in now. That was Jim Hudson's job, and Hudson's gone. Collins flank to the right. Hooker out 7 to the left. Morin splits a couple at right end. Nelson to throw. It is incomplete. Intended for Milt Morin up at the 50-yard line, and Milt hadn't turned around yet. Holloman was covering him on the play. Jets had a pretty good rush on Nelson. It's 3rd down and 16. 11 minutes to play. Second period. Browns lead 14-7. Gary Collins flanks out to the right. Morin splits a couple at right end. Hooker out 7 at left end. Long yardage. Nelson to throw. In the middle. Caught by Morin at the 50. Knocked back to the 49-yard line of the Browns by Holloman. It is short of the first down by about 5. They'll mark it at the 50-yard line, and the Browns will have to punt.
And Verlon Biggs, the right defensive end, put another big rush on Nelson and knocked him down after he got rid of the ball. And Nelson is okay coming back to the sideline.
Deep men are Ed Bell and Mike Battle at the 10. Cockroft will be kicking into a slight wind, not too much. Kick is high spiral. Fair catch called for by Battle. Lets it go at the 10. Takes a Jets bounce. Picked up by Chip Glass for the Browns, and he gets belted by Onkotz, the rookie from Penn State. The officials say nothing illegal. Nobody got hurt. So the Jets will start play at the 13-yard line on a 37-yard punt, and more important, no return. 10-12 to play, second period. An official timeout on the field with the score: the Browns 14, the Jets 7.
You can always trust your doctor's prescriptions to Stipes Drugstore in Worcester. Quality, service, convenience, those are the watchwords at Stipes. Stipes Drugstore always has an experienced registered pharmacist on duty from 9 a.m. until 11 at night, 7 days a week for your extra convenience. With free delivery and 24-hour emergency prescription service when needed. As a further convenience, Stipes always carries a full line of grocery items, dairy products, candy, tobacco products, film and film service, greeting cards, cosmetics, and gift items of all kinds. Stipes has one of the most complete and up-to-date cosmetic departments in the entire area, with all your favorite cosmetics in full selection. Famous products by Max Factor, Dana, and Corday, to mention just a few. For friendly, complete, and convenient service, it's Stipes Drugstore, East Liberty Street, across from the Penn Station in Worcester.
Milt Morin, the Browns' leading receiver tonight, with 4 catches for 67 yards. Joe Namath is only 2 out of 5. But last year, in a series of 5 games in which the Jets won, Joe didn't complete 1 touchdown pass. So there are times they can do it without Joe going to the air.
Get a break after this play. Maynard is flanked to the right. Sauer splits about 10 at left end. And off to Boozer, right tackle. He's hit at the 15-yard line by Snido and chopped down for about a 2-yard pickup. Barnes helped on it. 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Cleveland Browns Football Network.
Every Cleveland Brown football game on WWST FM stereo in Worcester, 104.5 megacycles on your FM band.
Jets out of the huddle. Second down and 8. They have a slot left now. Maynard in the slot. Namath the throw. Fires. It is caught. Ooh, a hard tackle on Sauer at the 32 by Ernie Kellerman. Chopped him at the knees from behind. A 17-yard pickup, first and 10. That was a well-thrown football.
I'll tell you, there was a tremendous charge put on by Walter Johnson on that play, but he had double coverage on him, and he just kept churning away, but they weren't about to let him get through. 2 men.
Maynard flank right. Sauer out 5 to the left. Lammons out about a half yard at right end. Namath takes the handoff, going to throw it. Drills one. Deep man open. Caught by Sauer, and he's belted down on the Browns' 28-yard line. He beat Sumner, but Mike Howell made the tackle, a 40-yard pickup.
They're putting Walter Johnson right over the center, and he's getting this double coverage from the center and the right guard, and once again they had him out of there, giving Joe just a little more time. Paying more attention to Walter than they are to Jerry on these particular 2 plays. I just happen to have my eye on Walter on both of them. All of a sudden, from their own 13 down to the 28-yard line of the Browns.
Yeah, timeout Cleveland.
I don't know whether Mike Howell has equipment problems or not, but he was over at one time talking to the equipment manager. Now he's coming off, and he takes his helmet off.
There's an official timeout on the field. The score, the Browns 14, the Jets 7.
Your friends at the Worcester Lumber Company want to help you anticipate the changing of the seasons. And so they're offering for you right now Alsco aluminum storm windows and storm doors. 3 fine finishes from which to choose. A storm door for every purpose. They all have very efficient locks, and they all feature easy glass replacement, which will be a real money saver for you. You'll save also on fuel in heating your home with Alsco aluminum storm windows and storm doors because, of course, they cut down drafts and add comfort and beauty to your home. Now, the Worcester Lumber Company will install these Alsco aluminum storm windows and storm doors for you, so contact them right now at your earliest convenience and avoid the big fall rush. Every storm window and door that Alsco makes is guaranteed for 15 years in writing. Alsco is a sensible blend of quality and price. You'll see what we mean when you look at the fine collection at Worcester Lumber Company. The local people who care about you.
Well, it's more than equipment with Mike Howell. He's now out of the ball game. Gib mentioned that he might be receiving smelling salts. He's on the sidelines, and Ippolito has an ice pack on his back, and Fred Summers has replaced Mike Howell. It's awfully hot down there, and Mike, as the free safety, does an awful lot of running around. He wanted to go back in. He was on his feet and okay, but then they decided against it, and the Jets break, and they're 1st and 10 on the 28.
See if Joe Namath does any picking now on Fred Summers. He has Maynard flanked to the right. He's going to throw it. Sets up. Fires. It is incomplete. At the 5-yard line. Sumner broke it up, intended for Sauer. And a flag is dropped back on the 34. It apparently is holding. 15 yards against the Jets. Back to the Cleveland 49. It is for holding.
And that's a 21-yard penalty because it's from the spot of the foul, 21 yards from the original line of scrimmage.
The infraction called against right guard Dave Herman.
But they hold on to the down, but they've got to reach the 18-yard line. They're on the 49.
Jets have again Maynard flanked out to the right. Sauer splits 5, now moves out 7 yards split. On the draw, Boozer hit at the line of scrimmage, and he's down for a yard pickup to the 48-yard line. Howell back in the ball game on it. Lindsay helped on it. Gain of a yard. It's 2nd down. And 30 to go. We're halfway through the second period. 14-7, Cleveland. Maynard flanks right. Sauer out 5 to the left. Lammons out a yard at right end. Boozer and Snell, the running backs. Namath back to throw. Fires right sidelines. It is caught by Maynard. He's pulled down on the 32-yard line by Erich Barnes. 16-yard pickup on the play. That brings up 3rd down and about 14 to go.
That's a typical Joe Namath call where he keeps his 2 running backs back. Many times he will only send out 3 receivers, his tight end and his 2 wide receivers, and this makes him more exceptional when he only has 3 out. He's given a little more time from the backs, but he only has 3 down. They can usually be covered, and he still hits them.
Big 3rd down play. Sauer flank left this time. Maynard splits 4 to the right. Now moves out another couple of yards. Lammons tight at the left. Handoff, draw to Boozer at the 31, 30, right sideline, 25, breaks the tackle, and he's out of bounds on about the 17-yard line. That should be a 1st down by about a half a yard. And a great run by Emerson Boozer. And a fine block by the split end on that play, Don Maynard.
first and 31 yards to go. They had it on the 49 and only one pass. Boozer on 2 carries, and the last 12 yards on that was all his effort. The Browns had several shots at him. That's a real heartbreaker when you have them backed up to midfield when they get down to the 28, and then they still pick it up inside the 20.
Maynard flanked right, Sauer out 7 to the left. Lammons out about a half yard at right end. Give to Snell, trap, no hole, flag down as he hits the 16-yard line. Shirk on the tackle. Namath just almost did a backflip as he heard what the penalty was. I didn't know Joe could move that well. That's a Broadway Joe jump.
Another big one, 15, back to the 31. Holding, offensive holding.
It's first down. 24 to go.
6 penalties, 83 yards assessed against the Jets.
Sauer, flank left. Maynard splits 4 to the right. Now moves out another step. Namath to throw. Sets up. Drills one. Deep. It is intercepted by Walt Sumner to 6, to the 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Deep in the middle of the field to the 35, to the 40, and chopped down on the 40-yard line by Herman. Yard return by Walt Sumner. Joe Namath just had a better throw on his helmet, out of bounds. He's, of course, angry with himself. He threw it too far. 5:45 to play in the half. And we have Homer Jones in the ball game, flank to the left. Give to Kelly, try to sweep left end, no hold, chopped down on the 39, a yard loss. Larry Grantham, the right linebacker, made the tackle. They'll mark it back on the 38, a loss of 2. Homer Jones is in the ball game, replacing Gary Collins. As far as his spot in the lineup, but on the field, Homer's the split end, and Hooker moves over to flanker.
And Homer will always play the left side, as you know. They flop their Hooker back and forth, but Homer will always be on the left side.
In their I formation. Now he's on the right because Hooker also is on the right. Hooker is the slot back, and Homer splits 10. Give to Kelly, trying to sweep the left side. He's trapped again to the 33-yard line. Boy, the Jets really plugged that one up, and again it was Grantham with help by Early Thomas, the right cornerback. That's another 5-yard loss. Now it's 3rd and 17.
Verlon Biggs is on the right side, too. He's one of these that is supposed to be unsigned and unhappy. But he's got to be unhappy with the Browns the way he's playing. The right tackle there is John Elliott, a 4-year veteran from Texas.
Hooker flanks right. Homer Jones out 5 to the left, and Milt Morin splits a couple at right end. Blitz. Nelson to throw. He drills it. Flag down. Hooker drops the ball on the 45 of the Jets. We have a flag thrown, however. Holding has been called against. I would assume it's against the Jets. It was called way up in the defensive backfield, not at the line. That's the call. That's an automatic first down, which is more important. 5-yard penalty. The linebacker blitzing was Baker, and the Browns picked it up beautifully. Ball is up to the 38. 1st and 10. 4:02 to play in the half. And a fairly well-played first half, especially for the first game of the season.
It's been a very exciting game for the fans. On that one, the Jets had only 3 men back, sending all their linebackers up on the line, and that's unusual on this passing down.
From the I, Nelson to throw. Pumps. He throws to Hooker. It's open, and it's overthrown on the 30-yard line. He faked the post pattern and cut back out to the sidelines and had Holloman and Tannen both feet on the play. Nelson led him by about 2 yards too many.
We're at the 3:57 mark with the score 14-7. The Browns scoring 2 touchdowns in the first period, and then the Jets getting one back in the early going of the second quarter. And now Fairhooker is just now rejoining the huddle on the 25-yard line. It's a long trip back.
2nd and 10. Browns have connected 6 out of 7 times on their third down situations. Namath has only hit 2 out of 4. Hooker flanks right. Homer Jones out 5 to the left. Morin tight on the right side. 2nd and 10. Nelson back to throw. Pumps. He's going to run. Now he throws. It is incomplete. Intended for Hooker at the Jets' 48-yard line. 10 and broke it up. Nelson threw just a shade too late as he was dodging the Jets' line. Third and 10.
Bill did have some time on that, Gib, and I think he was eyeing Leroy Kelly, who was doing a zigzag pattern over the middle, and finally shook loose, but by that time, Nelson had taken his eye off of him and headed towards the right side, started to run, then had to unload it in a hurry, and Fairhooker couldn't catch it.
Neither quarterback has been dropped for a loss yet, but both teams' defensive lines are putting pretty fair pressure on the quarterbacks. 3rd and 10. Hooker flank right. Homer Jones out 5 to the left. Morin splits a yard at right end. Nelson to throw. He's hit as he throws, and it is incomplete. That spoiled his throw, and it fell harmlessly to the ground. Biggs is the man who hit him, the right end. Ball fell up at the 45-yard line. The Browns will have to punt. 3:45 to play, first half. Ed Bell and Mike Battle go back in double safety.
Sam McDowell did not pick up his 21st win today. Sonny Siebert beat him 2-1.
Don Cockroft to punt. Got a rush on. The kick is up and away. Fair catch called for and held by Bell on the 23 of the Jets.
Gib, that's the first time they've had to punt, but notice that this was pointed out to me at the beginning of the game. I guess the loss was charged to hand, not McDowell. Beginning of the game, on these punts, you'll know they put 7 men over on the left side, and they send Tannen in to block the punt. They try to block every punt. And the next time they punt, notice that big jam up on the Browns' right side, their left, and Tannen, number 21, coming in from the outside. And that's why Don Cockroft, aware of this, got it off in a hurry.
49-yard punt. Maynard flanked right. Sowers split 5 to the left. Lammons tight on the right side. Namath back to throw. Screen on the left. Caught by flag down and hit by Knock and White are the 2 running backs. The one that caught that one was White. And a flag down as he's pulled down to the 32-yard line by Houston and Garlington. Against the Jets. Well, I missed that signal, Jim.
Interference or pushing. One or the other.
Offensive interference. 11 yards, half the distance. Ball back to the 12. First down. Still, 3:10 to play in the first half. Namath to throw it. Fires. Maynard got it. 27. Hit down at the 31. Almost lost the ball. Grabbed it again as he's pulled down by Barnes. Pickup of 19. And it will bring up a second down. And about 2 to go. There's White going out of the ball game. Snell is back in. And Boozer is back in. Maynard flank right. Sauer out 5 to the left. Lammons tight on the right side. Namath to throw. Left sideline. Sauer's got it. Out of bounds on the 38. First down. Stops the clock. 7-yard pickup. 2:27 to play in the half. Browns lead 14-7.
They have Mike Howell back in at his free safety position. Very few substitutions. Been that necessary one for the Browns, Mike Howell and Fred Summers, and the Jets have made one in their defensive backfield. Other than that, I think that's about it.
Changed the two running backs for a couple of plays, the Jets did, and then stuck them back in again. Maynard flank right, Sauer out 5 to the left, Lammons out about a half yard at right end. Namath to throw. Fires hard, intercepted by Houston on the 48 of the Browns. 45-40 of the Jets to the 30, and he's down on the 27-yard line. Tackled by Herman. Jim Houston went way back in the hook area, reached high in the air and grabbed it. 23-yard return. We're down to 2:17 remaining in the first half, and the Browns have a chance to pick up another one on the 27-yard line of the Jets. This time Neiman hasn't thrown his helmet, but he's walking very slowly off the field. Browns out of the huddle. Collins back in, is flanked right. Morin out a yard at right end. Hooker out 4 at left end. Give to Kelly. Left guard and tackle, no hold. Fights for about 2. Elliott, Thompson, Atkinson, Biggs all on the tackle. Timeout called. As the 2-minute warning, there's an official timeout on the field. The score, the Browns 14, the Jets 7.
Your Mercury dealer would like you to consider one simple thought.
Better ideas make better cars. It's as simple as that.
Better medium-price car ideas like the 1971 Mercury Marquis. The Marquis starts with the most dramatic styling in the medium-price class, and then adds the best ride ideas from the world's finest cars. The result is a better medium-price car. In the Mercury Marquis, a 429 cubic inch V8 and automatic transmission are standard, plus many other luxuries you normally pay extra for.
Underwood Lincoln Mercury at 231 South Market in Worcester can show you a full line of 8 beautiful Marquis models, including 3 elegant Bromes and the luxurious Colony Park station wagon.
Make better cars. It's as simple as that. Mercury makes better cars. At the sign of the cat.
2nd and 9 as we go into the final 2 minutes of the first half. The Browns trying to get in for their third score of the evening. They have not scored in this second period. 2 interceptions off the passes of Joe Namath, who has completed 8 out of 13 for 130 yards. Their touchdown came on a 2-yard run by Boozer. So the Browns huddle back on the 35. 3 downs for the first down, which they have to get to the 16.
2nd down and 8. Collins flank right. Hooker out 5 to the left. Morin splits about a yard and a half at right end. Nelson back to throw. Screen to the right to Bo Scott. He's in trouble. He's chopped down back on the 35-yard line. And a beautiful defensive play by Al Atkinson, the middle linebacker, Steve Thompson, the left tackle. They really played that very well. It's a loss of 10. It is 3rd down. About 18 to go.
Impossible for you to expect anyone to think that far ahead, but in that case, I don't think the Browns would have been mad if Scott had dropped that ball. Saved him 10 yards.
Hooker splits left, almost 10 yards. Collins out to the right as they get out of the eye. Now Hooker is flanked left. Collins split 7 to the right. Morin out 2 to the left. Nelson backpedaling. He fires, flag down. It is caught by Hooker, and he's down on the 20-yard line. Thomas there to make the touch on him, but we have a flag drop way back at the 44, 47-yard line, and that could be holding. They marked the spot of the foul, the 44. That is going to put the Browns out of field goal range with 1:01 remaining in the half. Browns were down to the 25. Now down to the 20. No, 25. On that 2nd down play. Now on the penalty, they're back to the Cleveland 41. Holding. That's
That's the Browns' fourth penalty for 39 yards, 99 yards against the Jets in 8 penalties.
Les Clark on the PA says 42 yards to go, and I believe him. Third down. Yeah. Hooker, flank left. Collins out 7 to the right. Morin out a couple at left end, and Nelson to throw. There's the long bomb to Collins, underthrown. He comes back, and he can't quite get the ball at the 22-yard line. Gary had to swing back after it, made a lunge for it. He had Tannen beaten deep, and he beat him coming back for it. And he just couldn't quite hang on to the ball as he fell to the ground. The Browns will have to punt. Browns missed a golden chance after the interception. They were in field goal range and got themselves out of it. 55 seconds remaining. Cockcroft to punt. Bell and Battle in double safety. Line of scrimmage is the Cleveland 41. Good snap. High wobbly kick. Fair catch. Held by Bell at the 20. A 39-yard punt. No return. And the Jets come on the field with 48 seconds remaining in the half. And the clock starts. Maynard flank right. Sauer out about 5 to the left. Boozer and Snell, the running backs. Give to Snell, cutting outside left end. 25, 26. Down at the 26-yard line. Timeout called by the Jets. Tom Butler, who's in the game at right linebacker. No, wait a minute. It's Billy Andrews, 52. At right linebacker who made the stop. Harry, I bet you're very bad at checkers, aren't you?
With 31 seconds left to play now, and second down and about 4. Apparently the Jets are just content to run out the clock, even though they've called a timeout because they kept Boozer on the ground. But perhaps in this one or the next one, as they break, that Joe Namath will go for the bomb to try to get at least within field goal range. 31 seconds remaining first half.
Boozer's a slot left. Sauer split 5 to the left. Maynard flank to the right. Handoff. Snell, right guard, 30, 35, 38, close to the 39-yard line. Another timeout. 25 seconds remaining. That's another first down. They might just like to get it at least in field goal range. Howell made that tackle.
And they have one more timeout. The Browns took their timeout about 8 or 9 minutes ago. Well, they have Jim Turner, who can kick them from the 50. And keep in mind that if there is a prevailing wind down there that means anything, he has it behind his back. Gary Collins has one of the touchdowns for the Browns, the other one on a 2-yard run by Scott. Boozer from the 2 for the Jets, and that's all you're scoring. And we haven't even had a field goal attempt yet, but we may get one in the last 25 seconds of this first half.
Jets have one timeout remaining and 25 seconds remaining. They're trailing by 7. Maynard will flank right. Sauer out 5 to the left. Lammons out about 1.5 yards at the right end. Namath to throw. Sets. Fires. Middle. Dropped by Boozer at the 48-yard line of the Browns. Butler covering on the play. Tom is now in the lineup. Browns are going with 3 linemen. 4 linebackers. That's 7. 4 defensive backs.
Ron Snydow got to Joe Namath, but just seconds late, as is often the case, because most of the quarterbacks will unload it. But he did dump Joe Namath and then helped him to his feet again.
2nd and 10, 20 seconds remaining. Maynard, flank to the right. Sauer out 5 to the left. Namath to throw. Drills in the middle. It is caught by Lammons, flagged down, and he's pulled down at the 48-yard line. flags. That's a 10-yard pickup.
Both captains Namath and Jim Houston anxious to find out on which team it will be assessed. Looks like it's going to be against the Jets.
Well, Namath is talking. Now they leave the ball right where Lammons went down.
Lammons caught it.
I wish the referee would talk a little louder so we can tell what's going on. Interference against both teams. Offsetting penalties. Now, wait a minute. They can't leave the ball where it is. They've got to start the... Can they?
Well,
normally you'll put the ball back.
Normally you discard the play and return. They're giving the Jets a first down on the 48, their own 48-yard line. Offsetting penalties usually means
back to the line of scrimmage.
Back to the line of scrimmage.
Two officials have asked the referee, and he's explained it to both of them. So I guess there's nobody beefing. 14 seconds remaining. Jets not quite in field goal range. Need about 10-15 more. Maynard is flanked to the right. Sauer out 5 to the left. Lammons splits a yard at right end. Namath to throw. In the middle. Batted away by Houston at the 40-yard line. He stepped right in front of Lammons, and it's a good thing he got a hand on the ball, or Lammons would have been off to the races. Well, we have 10 seconds remaining. But the Jets still have one timeout left.
One timeout, and this is only second down. Joe was a little short on that pass. Lammons was down at about the 35-yard line and then looked like he stopped. Had he been able to, had the ball been thrown a little longer and he'd been able to keep up his momentum, had Joe been on target with that, he'd have had a completed pass inside the 30-yard line. He had to stop and then come back.
Second down. Again, Maynard flank right. Namath the throw. Pumps deep to the right sidelines, and this one goes out of bounds on about the 27-yard line, intended for Maynard, and Erich Barnes was covering along the sidelines. Now the clock says 4 seconds remain.
The Browns had real exceptional coverage on that, but once again it was the same pattern we mentioned earlier, that sending only 3 receivers down is easy for a linebacker plus your 4 defensive backs to drop back and give almost every receiver double coverage. But Namath kept his backs in there and got good protection because he wants to go long.
Might be the last play of the period. Maynard flank right, Sauer out 5 to the left, Lammons out about a half yard at right end. There's a draw. Boozer trapped and knocked down at the 47-yard line, and there's the gun. That's the end of the first half with the score. The Browns 14, the Jets 7. We'll be back with halftime sports in the second half of tonight's game after the news. Second half kickoff. Turner on the approach. Reese Morrison and Homer Jones are deep. Homer Jones on the 6, 10, right sidelines, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. Turner missing. He's to midfield. Homer Jones is going all the way for a touchdown. 94 yards. Jones' first time has returned to football for the Cleveland Browns. Can you imagine the people out at the hot dog stand saying, I wonder what they're yelling about? Phipps will hold. Cockroft to attempt the point. The kick. It's good. There's an official timeout on the field to score. The Browns 21, the Jets 7.
Nick Amster's Clothing in Worcester is right on with the unsuit look, the latest clothing creations for you young men. The SEWS revolution has never been more relevant than right now with the opening of Barney's Inn at Nick Amster's. The latest colors, cuts, and cloths in body shirts, flare bottoms, bells, tank tops, jackets, sweaters, and accessories are all there at Barney's Inn. The whole scene displayed in the open where you can pick and choose, mix and match to suit your own creative tastes for every occasion. Live a little. Use your imagination. Freedom and originality are yours to use in exciting new ways. So do your own thing with your wardrobe at Barney's Inn. Choose from suede cowhides, wool herringbones, denims, cotton velvets, corduroys, skinny rib knits, tweeds, tough threads for you under 30 guys. Go funky formal with the unsuit look at Barney's Inn at Nick Amster's. Make it with a now seen in style. Today's new look geared to the young man who knows what's happening and where it's at. It's all at Barney's Inn at Nick Amster's in Worcester.
Record for a Cleveland Brown on a kickoff return is 104 yards by Carl Ward in 1967. Leroy Bolden 102 in 58. You know the NFL record is 106 by Al Carmichael of the Green Bay Packers. The Browns have set an attendance record for themselves tonight, 85,703. That's a high for the Browns.
Ed Bell and Mike Battle are deep. The kick goes to Bell. He's got it 5 yards deep, and he's going to stay there with it. And the Jets will take over at the 20-yard line. And the fans cheer about that. Come the Jets out of the huddle. We have Sauer split 7 to the left, Maynard flank to the right, Lammons out about 1.5 yards at right end. Snell and Boozer, the running backs. Namath to throw. Blitz on, he fires, it's caught at the 30. Maynard breaks a tackle by Barnes, hit at the 40 now, and down at the 40-yard line by Ernie Kellerman. That's good for 20 yards. And that's how Namath handles a blitz. The blitzer was the right linebacker, Dale Lindsay. Well, it took Homer Jones 17 seconds officially to run that 94 yards after a lot of the zigs and zags thrown in. And it's 21-7 as the Jets have 1st and 10 on their own 40. Sauer now flanks left, and Maynard is split 7 to the right. Namath to throw. Drills one. It is Sauer, got it at the Browns' 45 and pulled down at the 44 by Walt Sumner. And Sauer had to go up in the air for that one. It's a 16-yard pickup, 1st and 10. That touchdown must have made Namath a little mad or angry. Jets out of the huddle. Flanker to the right is Maynard. Sauer out 5 at left end. Lammons splits 1 yard at right end. Namath to throw. 6-7 steps, set, fires, overthrown at the 30, intended for Maynard. And Barnes was covering on the play. 2nd and 10. The Jets in the first half did a fine job of shutting off the Browns' running game. Kelly had 21 yards and 12 carries. And Bo Scott in 4 tries picked up 2 net. Jets huddling. 13:06 to play. 3rd quarter. 21-7 Cleveland. Jets taking a long time in the huddle. Now move out. Maynard flank right. Sauer out 4 to the left. Namath gets the snap in a hurry. Throws. It is caught at the 31. It's Sauer again and Sumner on the tackle again. That's good for 13. Another 1st down.
Well, we've been talking about their cornerbacks, and now Joe Namath has gone to work on the Browns' quarterbacks. Just 1 incompleted pass on this series, and he is 3 out of 4, but he's been picking up 15 and 18 yards on each particular pass. And in all 3 times, he's gone to his wide receiver.
Sauer will split 5 to the left. Maynard flanks to the right. Lammons out 1 yard at right end. one name, Maynard moves out a couple more. Hand off. Snell, left tackle, 30, 25, spins off, 24. Now he's down. Jim Houston finally got a solid hit on him, and helped by Lindsay and Garlington. Snell was originally hit at the 30. And it turns it into a 7-yard gain.
Snell holds the Jet record of close to 1,000 yards in the 1966 season, I believe it was. He's their leading rusher, also a good pass receiver.
2nd and 3. Maynard flank right, Sauer out 5 to the left. Lammons out about a half yard at right end. Snell, right side, cuts outside Garlington, hit at the 23. Got about a yard, maybe 2 on the play. Mike Howell quickly up from safety to help on the tackle. And so did, as we say, Garlington and Erich Barnes. Now spot the ball at the 23-yard line, a yard pickup. 3rd down, 2 to go on the Cleveland 23.
Well, what are you going to call here now, Gib? Are you going to go for the 2 yards, or are you going to go maybe for a pickup of 10 or 15 with the idea that even if you don't get it, you have the field goal? So we'll see what Joe's going to do here.
Now Sauer is the flanker to the left. Maynard splits 5 to the right. Lammons out a half yard at the left end. Hand off, Boozer, left tackle, 1st down, fights inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. Houston on the stop. Picking on Jerry Shirk a little bit, the right tackle, Brown's rookie.
Boy, no trouble with that one either. When it was 3rd and 2, you would expect perhaps they would jam up the center. But he didn't pick up his 2 yards. He got 5, so now they're down to the 18-yard line. Having moved from their own 20 in just 7 plays.
Maynard flanking right. Now Boozer's a slot back to the left side as Sauer is split about 10 to the left. Now Boozer comes back as a running back. Pass in the left flat, caught by Sauer at the 12 to the 10, holds on, and Sumner grabs him, pulls him down at the 5-yard line. 13-yard pickup, 1st down, goal to go. The ball on the Browns' 5-yard line.
This Sauer isn't particularly fast, but he's awfully deceptive and has great moves. He had 8 receptions in the Super Bowl, if you'll recall, a couple of years ago.
And Sauer is the flanker to the left now. Maynard splits 5 at right end. Lammons out about a yard at left end. 1st down and goal to go. This drive started at the 20. Hand off Boozer, left tackle, flag down. He's tripped up at about the 3-yard line. I think the Jets were moving on the play, a back. Five-yard penalty to the 10. Back in motion. 1st down and goal to go at the 10-yard line. Here comes a substitution in the Jets lineup. Well, it was Trapp who was going to replace Maynard, Castor rather, but Maynard has the play and Castor goes back off the field. Maynard flanks right. Sauer out 5 at left end. Lammons splits a yard at right end. Give to Boozer, left tackle to the 5. Touchdown. Yard touchdown run by Emerson Boozer. And the Jets are within 8 and the extra point to come. Jim Turner will attempt and George Sauer will hold. The snap. There it is. Kick is up. It is good. There's an official timeout on the field. The score, the Browns 21, the Jets 14.
Nick Amster's clothing in Worcester is right on with the unsuit look. the latest clothing creations for you young men. The SEWS revolution has never been more relevant than right now with the opening of Barney's Inn at Nick Amster's. The latest colors, cuts, and cloths in body shirts, flare bottoms, bells, tank tops, jackets, sweaters, and accessories are all there at Barney's Inn. The whole scene displayed in the open where you can pick and choose, mix and match to suit your own creative tastes for every occasion. Live a little. Use your imagination. Freedom and originality are yours to use in exciting new ways. So do your own thing with your wardrobe at Barney's Inn. Choose from suede cowhides, wool herringbones, denims, cotton velvets, corduroys, skinny rib knits, tweeds, tough threads for you under 30 guys. Go funky formal with the unsuit look at Barney's Inn at Nick Amster's. Make it with a now seen in style. Today's new look geared to the young man who knows what's happening and where it's at. It's all at Barney's Inn at Nick Amster's in Worcester.
80 yards and 9 plays, and the Jets give it to their bread and butter runner, Emerson Boozer, who last year sat out 5.5 games from an injury, but still scored 13 touchdowns. It's a lot of TDs in 9 games. He's the one that usually carries it in. Turner all set for the kickoff now. 7 points separate these two. We're at 9:22 third period.
Morrison and Homer Jones are waiting at the 2. Turner's approach, a little short. It's going to Morrison at the 7, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, and down. Flag. He's hit after the tackle. Down on the 37. Dennis Onkotz made the tackle. It'll cost the Jets 15. Well, while we're waiting for them to step it off, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Cleveland Browns Football Network.
Listening now to WWST-FM stereo in Worcester. 52,000 watts of stereo power.
Browns out of the huddle. Starting play on the Jets 47. I formation. Now they shift to the T with Hooker split left. Kelly's a slot right with Collins split 5 to the right. Morin out a yard at left end. Nelson to throw. Left sidelines. Hooker's got it. 42, breaks a tackle to 40. 35, down on the 34-yard line. That'll be a first down. Holloman made the tackle. Thomas is the man who missed him, the rookie right cornerback.
I think that's Hooker's first reception of the night, too. Of course, when you have a good preseason, the opponents know about it and give special attention to you.
Now Collins will flank right. Hooker out 5 to the left. Milt Morin's out about a half yard at right end. First and 10. Flags down on the draw. Kelly, 30, 25, down to the 22-yard line. We have a flag on the play. Tannen's the man who made the tackle. It's against the Jets, I believe. It is, and it'll be declined. And it is a 12-yard pickup. First down. Ball, nose of the ball is very close to the 22-yard line. Started on the 34 on that play. 8:21 to play, third quarter. Browns lead by 7. Try to get another. I formation. Collins out 5 to the right. They shift to the T. Hooker is flank left. Morin out a yard at left end. Nelson gives to Bo Scott over left guard to the 20, and that's about it. Elliott, the right tackle. Atkinson, the middle linebacker. Grantham, the right linebacker, on the stop. Shafrath tried to clear the hole. Pickup of 2, 2nd and 8. Bill Nelson speaks at the Charter House tomorrow night, and Erich Barnes will join me at Pat Joyce's at 5:30 at Sunchester. Free plug. Collins flank to the right. Hooker out 7 at left end. Nelson back to throw. Drills it in the middle. It's batted away and almost intercepted by Atkinson, the middle linebacker. Hooker, I believe, the intended receiver. 4 of the Jets had flooded back in the zone between the 10 and 5.
Hooker went out and was shaking to the outside, but early Thomas had him covered to the outside, was going to let him go inside, and he had him beat going to the post, but the pass was knocked down and almost intercepted. But Early Thomas would not have gotten it. It took the linebacker. And once again, that's the signal for Don Cockcroft to loosen up his right leg.
Browns have hit 6 out of 9 out of these third down attempts tonight. Nelson to try it again. Collins out 5 to the right. Booker flank left. Nelson throwing. Booker left corner. Open it just off his hand and out of bounds and out of the end zone. Incomplete. Early Thomas covering. But Booker had him beat on the play. The Browns will go for 3. This will be the first field goal attempt of the night.
He was going to curl around Early Thomas on that one after trying the inside, then going the outside. He was going to curl right around him, which he did, but the pass was just, it wasn't on the left side or right side. It was just a little high, directly over his head, and Ferris made a one-handed stab, couldn't pull it in.
27-yard field goal attempt by Don Cockcroft. Mike Phipps holding. Slide angle at the right. Snap, spot, kicks up. It is good. There's an official timeout on the field. The score, the Browns 24, the Jets 14.
Ever get caught short after regular store hours and need a prescription filled or want some packaged drug products, or maybe cereal or milk or cold cuts for the next morning? Everyone has had this problem at one time or another, and in this area it's solved by Stipes Drug Store opposite the Penn Depot in Worcester. Because Stipes is open from 9 a.m. until 11 p.m. 7 days a week. There's always a registered pharmacist on duty at all times. Free delivery service is available when needed, along with 24-hour emergency service on prescriptions. And you'll find Stipes registered pharmacists careful, competent, and anxious to be of help to you. Also, Stipes offer a full package grocery, dairy, and cold cut line. They have a very complete baby department with baby foods and formula items, and a brand new and more complete cosmetic department featuring complete customer lines by famous Dana, Max Factor, and Corday, as well as many others. Remember now, Stipes Drug Store opposite the Penn Depot, open from 9 a.m. until 11 p.m.
The widest margin of a lead has been 14 points when it was 14-0, 21-7. It's back up to 10 points now, but the Browns must give the ball back to the Jets. The Jets did it with considerable ease, the 80 yards in 9 plays. The Browns came back and did it equally, but couldn't push it over. But at least they got the 3 points on the scoreboard, and here's Don kickoff with 7.5 minutes left to play in this third period.
Ed Bell and Mike Battle back at the goal line. Kick a little short. Battle at the 7, 10, 15, 20. Hit at the 25, down at the 26. Tom Butler led the charge. Bob Matheson's on it. Joe Jones, Chip Glass. First and 10 Jets on the 26, 18-yard, 19-yard return. Jets moving out of the huddle. They will have Sauer flank left. Maynard out 5 to the right. Lammons out about a half yard at left end. Namath back to throw. Drills it in the middle. Too high and almost intercepted. Intended for Boozer. Over his hands, and Mike Howell coming over. Saw it, but couldn't quite get over it. We have a flag drop back on the 20. Apparently against the Jets. Jim Houston talking to the referee. 6:55 to play, third quarter. Penalties against New York. Half the distance to the 10. Holding. It is first down and 26 yards to go for the first down. No wonder they don't get to Namath. The defensive line. Maynard is flank right. Sauer out 7 to the left. Lammons splits a yard at right end. Namath to throw again. Setting up. He fires. It's deep. It's overthrown. It's almost intercepted in midfield. He overthrew Sauer by a good 10 yards. Howell and Sumner were back chasing the ball. And another flag is down at the 3-yard line. I think this is against Cleveland by the looks of Jack Gregory with his hands on his hips. 15 yards against Cleveland to the 25. Roughing the passer. And it's called against Gregory. First and 10 at the 25-yard line. Sauer outside to the left. Namath has Boozer and Snell behind him, and Maynard flanked right. Handoff comes to Snell over left tackle, a gaping hole to the 30, the 35, the 40. Tripped up by Kellerman and Sumner. 15-yard pickup. Rasmussen and Hill, the left side on the block to open the hole. Namath has all defenses so conscious of his throwing that it really opens up his running game.
Dale Lindsey was ready to take a good shot at Snell, but got a nice block from somebody and took him right out of the picture.
Sauer now flanks to the left. Maynard splits 5 at right end. Center says the ball's wet. So they'll get a dry one in. 6:14 remaining, third quarter. Browns lead 24-14. Namath throwing quickly, left flat, caught by Sauer. He's knocked down at the 45 by Walt Sumner. 5-yard pickup. 2nd and 5. It's been an exciting ball game. Been a few mistakes, a number of penalties. Still exciting.
Sauer's a pretty big name in professional football. His father at one time was personnel director of the New York Jets. He himself wants to be an author and has written several articles and is working on a novel, I think.
Maynard flanks right. Sauer's out 5 to the left. Lamon's out about a half yard on the right side. Give to Boozer, cutting outside right in. Hit at the 48 and stopped at the 50 by Barnes. And I believe Darlington. No, it's Shirk. Well, that's going to be about a half yard short of a first down. Third down coming. 5 minutes to play in the third quarter.
Even though the Browns have outscored the Jets in this particular quarter, still the momentum is with the Jets. They've held on to the ball. The Browns' touchdown came on a 94-yard kickoff return. Other than that, it's been pretty much a Jet quarter.
Sauer flanks to the left. Maynard out about 5 at right end. Handoff comes to Snell over left tackle. First down, plenty to spare. All the way to the Browns' 46. Kellerman and Lindsey on the stop. Jets have a very fine offensive line, both opening holes for the passing game and protecting Joe Namath. Jets out of the huddle. Maynard is flanked to the right. Sauer splits 5 at left end. Lamon's out a half yard at right end. And off. Check that. It's Snell over left tackle to the 45 to the 41-yard line. Houston and Lindsey on the tackle. I made that one sound like the Stutter offense, didn't it? 3:49 remaining, third quarter. 2nd and 5.
Snell's closing in on a 100-yard game. He's now up to 87 and 14 carries.
Maynard is flanked to the right. Sauer out 5 yards at left end. Give to Snell, right tackle. There's no hole that time. He's knocked down at the 41-yard line. Walter Johnson, Ron Snido on that stop. Cut just about a yard. 3rd and 4 coming.
Now this is almost an obvious passing play here, especially since he's stayed on the ground for so long. He has 4 straight plays on the ground. Let's see what Joe calls now. See if the Browns can hold him. They could conceivably be in field goal range, but once again, this is against the wind, and I don't think they'd like to go for a 47, 48-yarder.
Maynard is flanked to the right. Sauer out 5 at left end. Lamon's out about a half yard at right end. Namath to throw. Fires to the left. It's caught by Boozer, and he's down on the 32-yard line. That's a first down. Sumner and Lindsey on the stop. close to the 31. And George Knock has come in the ball game, replacing Boozer. And also, Lee White has come in to replace Snell. Must be tired.
One thing about them, they mix up their runners. One doesn't carry 25 times to 8 for the other. It's 15 for Snell and 11 times for Boozer.
Maynard flanks to the right. Sauer out about 4 yards now at left end. Namath the throw. He sets, fires, deep, overthrown at the 5-yard line, intended for Maynard. The Browns had a blitz on, but the Jets picked it up. Dale Lindsay was firing in from the right side. Here's Richard Castor coming in to replace Maynard, who just had a long run. Castor is in for his first play now of the night. Started to come in earlier and was chased back off. Rookie from Jackson State, 6'5", 220, and he flies. He will be Erich Barnes' responsibility. Erich just had a long run and stays on the field. 2nd and 10. Castor flank to the right. Sauer out 4 yards at left end. Lammons out about a half yard on the right side. Namath to throw it again. He's hit. Down. Back on the 43-yard line by Jack Gregory. That's the first time either quarterback has been spilled. It's an 11-yard loss. Make it 10 yards. The ball back on about the 42. Namath is really fussing in the huddle. I'm glad we didn't pick up that one. Minute and a half remaining, third quarter. 3rd down, 20 to go. Sauer out 4 at left end. Castor is flanked to the right. Might be calling an automatic now. Namath back to throw. He fires. It is overthrown at the 35, and nobody was covering George Knock, the running back. And the right tackle, Jerry Shirk, just unloaded on Namath. And he took the center, Schmidt, right back into him. The good thing nobody was on, the ball was overthrown because nobody was covering Mr. Knox. And a big hand for the Browns defense. Jets are going to try a long field goal. Make it an even 50 yards. Barnes back in single safety. Jim Turner to attempt. George Sauer holding. Barnes standing at the 5. Minute 10 remaining, third quarter. Browns lead by 10. Snap. The kick. It's up. It is short, and it goes to the left of the goal post. A touchback. The Browns will take over at the 20-yard line. Still leading 24 to 14, and the defensive unit is getting a big hand. Defense was out there for a long time. Of course, the offense needs to play some ball control to let the defensive unit of the Browns get a rest.
They were out there about 6.5 minutes, Gib.
All right, the Browns out of the huddle, starting at the 20. Collins flank right. Hooker splits 8 at left end. Morin out a yard at right end. Nelson fakes the handoff. Throws. It is dropped by Milt Morin at the 32. Holloman covering. Milt seemed as though he turned. He couldn't quite find the ball and fought it for a second.
Looked like he was surprised when the ball hit him, and he kind of did some sort of a reaction, a jerk, and all of a sudden he didn't have control of it. Down to 59 seconds of the third period now.
59 seconds.
Most of the scoring was done in the first 5 minutes as we opened this second half with Homer Jones' 94-yard kickoff return for a touchdown.
All right, the Browns Having trouble lining up now. Okay, Hooker's a slot left. Collins splits 7 to the left. Morin out a yard at right end. Handoff. Kelly on a dive over left tackle. Gets a yard to the 21. Thompson knocks him down along with Atkinson, the middle linebacker. It'll be 3rd and 9. Browns have had no luck running the football.
Well, Blanton Collier said he thought one of the big reasons that they won the Super Bowl was their defense. He said it's always been a whale of a defensive ball club, but it always is in the shadow of a Joe Namath or Don Maynard, some of the more glamorous names. But he said they had a tremendous defense, and he thought that the defense won that big game and caused the upset against Baltimore.
And the only one big on that line is Biggs at 270. The others are around 245. Kelly now is a slot left. Collins flank to the right. Nelson to throw. He fires. It is caught. Flag down. Morin at the 30 to the 35, and he's down on the 36-yard line. We have a flag drop back on the 13-yard line. Coleman made the tackle. They're going to call it back.
Bill Nelson is mad as he kicks the dirt. They're back on the infield part of this stadium here. And if it's following a pattern, it'll probably be offensive holding. And Bill Nelson, after Milt Morin dropped one, went right back to him. From the 21 to the 11, half the distance, holding against the Browns.
The umpire usually calls the holding penalties. If it's all by the umpire tonight, he's been busy. John Little, the new defensive left end now, another rookie, replacing Mark Lomas. 3rd down for the Browns. About 23 to go for the first down. 11 seconds remaining, 3rd quarter. Browns really backed up deep now. Collins split 7 to the right. Hooker flank left. Nelson going to throw from the end zone. Drills it deep in the middle to Kelly. He can't hang on to it as it's batted out of his hand at the 26-yard line by Ralph Baker, and he almost picked it off. They both took a swipe at the ball. Neither got it. Browns will punt now from the end zone.
One thing about this punt, they only have 4 seconds left to play in this period, and there is a rather strong wind, and Don Cockcroft's going to get that advantage. And going into this 4th period now, the Browns will be facing that stiff wind. And remember, we're only 10 points apart in this ball game, and that's 7-3 for the Jets should they choose to, and also get in a position to go for a tie.
So Jets probably will put a rush on now. Battle and Bell are the deep men. Snap to Cockcroft. They do not put a rush on. Beautiful high spiral. Bell under it. Got it on the 40 of the Jets. Right sidelines, 45. Hit hard on the 49 and driven back. Hard tackle by Al Jenkins. And there is the gun. That's the end of the 3rd quarter. With the score, the Browns 24, the Jets 14.
A recent consumer study revealed the consumer knows very little about the kinds and grades of lumber on the market. If you happen to be one of those folks, we have a solution for you. Deal with people in whom you have confidence. Someplace like the Worcester Lumber Company. If you take their advice, they'll make it right if a mistake is made. The Worcester Lumber Company carries Wayne garage doors. Louis Carter makes this interesting observation, quote, once you have an electric garage door opener, you wouldn't consider ever being without one. And if you want one, the Worcester Lumber Company will install it for you. It's about time to get that old storm door replaced, too. It'll cost you just $29.95 for the door, and for a small additional fee, the folks at Worcester Lumber Company will install it for you. Yes, if you have any questions at all about building or building materials, we urge you to stop by the Worcester Lumber Company, where the friendly folks will be more than glad to help you with any problems you may have. We suggest you stop at your earliest convenience and avoid the rush. Worcester Lumber Company, opposite the fairgrounds in Worcester.
54-yard punt, 9-yard punt return. The Jets now have the ball 51 yards away from their 3rd touchdown. As 10 points separate them, 15 minutes to play in this ball game. It's been a real fine opener for these two ball clubs as the Jets stay on the road for the next 2 games and the Browns hit the road for a single game. The next home game is 2 weeks from last Saturday. It's October 3rd, a Pittsburgh Steelers normal Saturday night visit. And keep in mind the game is a 9 o'clock kickoff time. That's to stay in the same area of kickoff time that these Monday nights are. So if they're going to be a night game, they're all at 9, afternoons at 1.
Castor still in as the flanker for the Jets. He's flanked to the right. And Sauer is split up 8 to the left. Give to Snell. Another hold at left tackle to the 40. 35. Down on the Browns' 32-yard line. Billy Andrews made the tackle. He's the new right side linebacker. 19-yard pickup again for Snell. That puts him over 100. The Jets, after 3 quarters, had run 53 plays to the Browns' 40. And the Jets control the ball now. Castor is split 7 to the right. Sauer is flanked left. Lammons tight on the left side. Handoff to Boozer, left tackle, 30, 28. Lindsey on the, Lindsey Garlington rather, on the tackle, along with Powell. Snell is going out of the lineup. Lee White is coming in as one of the running backs. Boozer stays in.
That was a 4-yard pickup, and Boozer is averaging 4 yards. As I mentioned, he is the man that just will 4 and 5 yard you to death and give it to Snell for the long gains.
Castor flanked to the right. Sauer out 5 at left end. Handoff. Boozer on a dive down to about the 35-yard line. Walter Johnson on the tackle. 25-yard line, rather, not the 35. It'll be third down, about 3. 13:30 remaining in the ball game. Namath has connected one way or another 4 times out of the 9 third down situations. Castor flanked, split to the right by 7. Sauer is flanked to the left. Handoff, Boozer, left tackle, dives close to the 22, close to the first down. Billy Andrews on the stop. Well, he's a load, isn't he?
He is, and how often would you see a quarterback in this position stay on the ground and go with the same runner when you have a runner with Snell's capabilities, but instead of giving it to him, he gave it to Boozer for 3 straight carries, and here comes the chain gang. Looks like they may have it, too.
First down. And Boozer's gone out of there. Knock is in the replacement. You know, Boozer only weighs 195 pounds. No, I don't believe that. He looks like he's 205, 210 at least. The running backs now are Knock and White.
And 5'11" to boot.
Browns lead by 10, fourth quarter, 12:40 remaining. Jets out of the huddle. Castor, flank to the right. Sauer out 5 at left end. Lammons out a yard at right end. On the draw, Knock is hit at the line, hits it now at the 20 and down at the 19-yard line by Walter Johnson. They couldn't keep him in the backfield. Andrews hit him first. Pick up of 3. 2nd and 7. Namath keeping the Browns defense guessing. Third quarter, he passed more than he ran in one drive. Now he's staying on the ground. Castor flanked to the right. Lammons out a yard at right end. Sauer splits 5 to the left. Namath hands off to White. Cutting outside the end. 19 out of bounds at about the 18-yard line. Billy Andrews strung the play out to the sidelines. Walt Sumner then got him out of bounds, and Sumner is hurt out of bounds on the far sidelines. His ankle, I believe. He's calling for some attention. The Browns see it and send Freddie Summers out on the field, but the Browns are going to have to take a timeout. Walter hurt the ankle as he collaborated on the tackle. Now he's standing up.
Favoring the right side, and I believe it's the knee. Leo Murphy and Pippolito are in between our line of sight and Walt Sumner, but I think they're working on the right knee as Ernie Kellerman comes over to rejoin the huddle. Freddie Summers is in there. Freddie is one of 6 defensive backs, the other being rookie Richie Stevenson, and Freddie works out as both a safety and a cornerback. And then, of course, they have a couple of defensive backs on the Cavs squad. Tom Shane and Ben Davis. Walt is still standing on the far sideline and now is jogging back into the huddle. You know, he tore some tape off his own
knee, and I wonder if maybe a little piece of tape didn't snap, and that might scare him.
Well, now, Freddie was coming off, but he's staying in there. And here comes Walt out of the ball game now. There was some doubt. Walt doesn't want to come out. Everybody wants to play, of course. But he's coming out now, and Freddie's in there at right cornerback.
And the Jets in this half have controlled the ball 26 plays to the Browns 8. Boozer and Snell back in as the running backs. 3rd down and 7 for the Jets. Ball on the Browns' 18-yard line. They have a slot formation to the left. Back to throw goes Namath. Fires. Incomplete, and a flag called against Erich Barnes. He gave him a push, and I'm afraid it was obvious at the 7-yard line.
Not only that, I think he was holding him, too. He had a hold of his hand as he tried to get around him, and I don't think anybody's going to argue on that one. And that's a costly one, because that makes it the same as a completed pass, and even if you didn't make the yardage, it would be first down. It's down to the 7.
The only thing is it might have saved a touchdown.
Yes, he had him beat, Gib.
Maynard is back in now as the flanker. He's flanked right, and Sauer is split 8 to the left. Lammons out about a half yard at right end. Hand off. Snell fumbled the ball. The pile up. Browns recover. Browns get the ball. Jack Gregory got the football. I believe, Jim, that might not have been a good handoff. I don't think he had control of it.
I don't either, Jim. But that ball was on its way out of his control before he even hit the line.
Now, I believe the interference was a big play there because, as I say, it probably saved a touchdown. Well, time will tell. Collins flanked to the right. Hooker out 5 at left end. Morin out about a half yard on the right side. 11:24 to play in the game. Give to Kelly, right tackle. He's jerked down at about the 8. Baker, the left linebacker on it. And Elliott, the defensive right tackle. Boy, he's got about a half yard at best. Now, the Browns would like to, first of all, get out of the hole and keep the ball for a while and run out some of the time. Namath has taken his team up and down the field quite a few times tonight. Collins will flank right. Hooker out to the left. They're in the I formation, shifting out of it. Morin splits about a yard and a half, maybe 2 at right end. Nelson's going to throw it. It is caught by Collins on the 21-yard line. Got that in traffic. Hicks and 10, and we're pinching on him, and he grabbed it. One of the Jets is down. Collins is still down. Gary is hurt on the play. That'll be a Browns timeout again.
There's one of the reasons you have Gary Collins in there, whether he is injured slightly or not, because he can sure catch it in traffic. He's a big muscle man, and he just loves to have people hang on him because he just kind of shoulders them away. He is moving on the ground, but the doctors are keeping him down. We cannot see what it is because the players are in our sight.
One of the men who tackled him doesn't feel too well, but he is up. I think Gary, I would imagine, from the type of collision, might have been hit with somebody's knee in the helmet.
Well, they have his helmet off now, and they're keeping him on the ground, but as I say, he is moving. I told you that Gary went in with a slight hamstring pull, which happened 10 days ago. They kept him out of the Giant game last Saturday night.
Jim, you swing your binoculars 5 yards to the left. That Tannen, the rookie cornerback, is also down and being administered to by the Jets doctor. Now he's getting up.
Now he's just getting up.
And as we say, Hicks was bending his shoulder for a while. They're trying to flex his arm, so he was in the middle of that, too. All 3 of them.
Now Gary is sitting up. Now Gary is getting up. So all 3 of them was quite a collision, and here comes Gary, accompanied by a couple of doctors and a couple of trainers. Gary got knocked out in what was it? Was that a doubleheader or a couple of games ago down in Memphis or somewhere?
That was the Chiefs game, right, down in Memphis. All right, Hooker is now the flanker, and Homer Jones becomes the split end. Ball on the 20, first down and 10. 10:27 remaining. The Browns have only one timeout left now. Hooker flanks to the left. Jones flanks to the left. Hooker splits 5 at right end. There we go. Contact is made in the middle by Thompson, the left tackle of the Jets. Elliott also jumped. And they're calling it against the Jets. 5 yards. Call it illegal procedure. Or I always like the one they use in college, Jim, encroachment of the neutral zone, right?
That sounds very intellectual, doesn't it? I never put that down on this rundown because I can't spell it, but
Z-O-N-E. Homer Jones is flanked to the left. Hooker is out 5 at right end. Morin splits a couple at left end. Give to Kelly. Left guard hits to about the 29 and digs for another yard to the 30-yard line. Thompson, Elliott, and Atkinson making the stop, a gain of 4. That'll bring up second down and a yard to go. It was 1st and 5 after the penalty. John DeMare led the blocking. Ball's on the Cleveland 30. And we have 10 minutes remaining. Second and a yard to go. Hooker flanks to the right. Homer Jones splits 5, 6, 7 yards at left end. Morin out a half yard at right end. Good to Kelly. He's close to the first down over left guard and tackle at the 31-yard line. Atkinson, the middle linebacker. Thompson, the left tackle on the stop. Might have to measure. Dickerson leading the blocking. Nope, first down. No measurement. Well, that's important to the Browns. Keeps the clock running while the Jets don't have the ball.
And the Jets have been moving it, as you mentioned. They've moved it very, very well in the second half and getting many more plays than the Browns. So, as you mentioned, the longer they can keep it, the better.
Homer Jones flanked to the left. There, Hooker out 5 at right end. Fake handoff. Nelson rolls right. Fires upfield. Morin can't get it. It was deflected, I believe, by Hicks. Had double coverage on Morin that time. The linebacker, Atkinson, had come back. And it's lucky for Nelson, or fortunate, I should say, that he put the ball high in the air. Nobody could get it.
Hicks is the defensive back that the Jets acquired from the Houston Oilers off-season. So we mentioned earlier that Jim Hudson was the only Jet veteran as far as playing for the Jets in that defensive back four of theirs.
Second and 10, Homer Jones, flank to the left. Fair Hooker's out 7 at right end. Fake handoff, screen to the left to Bo Scott. He's hitting the backfield, and he tries to get away. He's still fighting. Gets to about the 27-yard line. Picked up an extra yard after Grantham had hit him. Atkinson finally puts him down. Bo Scott is down on the ground now. That's a loss of 4. Bo's getting up very slowly.
As a matter of fact, he was almost crawling toward the sideline and coming off with a decided limp. And into the ball game goes Steve Engel.
He's also carrying a shoe, Jim. Left shoe. Reese. It should be Engel, the fullback.
It is Engel. Engel's in there. The Browns have only 4 runners, but once again, they have some on the cab squad, too.
8:44 remaining. I don't know why the clock stopped on that play. It was a completed pass. Clock should be running. Jones split 5 to the left. Nelson way back to throw. He fires. It's caught by Morin at the 40 to the 45 to the 50 and out of bounds. Coleman on the tackle. First down, Cleveland. 22 yards.
Becoming a favored pattern of Bill Nelson's to Milt Morin, and this is not a short one either. This is a deep pattern for the tight end who came from lining up strong left, crossing over the middle, and he caught that outside the 45-yard line.
And the Cleveland fans with their go chant. Homer Jones is flanked to the left. Fair Hooker splits 5 at right end. Milt Morin's out about a half yard at left end. Flip to Kelly, turning right end, 50. He's to the 45, he's to the 40, he's to the 36-yard line. Another first down. Thompson made the tackle. 14-yard pickup. Rath cleared the path, and here is Engel coming out, and Bo Scott back in at fullback. Jim, the Browns had about 11 minutes left, I think, when they started this drive, so they've had it about 4 minutes already.
That's right. This is a tough football game, too, Gib. Boy, they're taking a beating in there. What they don't see also is after Nelson passes, he's usually being hit, and people will take their eye off of him because they want to naturally watch the ball. But the Browns are really know they're in a tough game, both sides.
Jones flank left. Hand off on the draw to Scott up the middle to the 30. Bo to the 25. He heads for the left sidelines and pulled down on the 19-yard line by Early Thomas. We have a flag on the play. The Jets jumped offside. It's a matter of whether they were pulled off or not. They were not. It's against the Jets. It's declined. First down Cleveland. 17-yard pickup for Bo Scott. The ball's on the 19-yard line of the Jets. 6:58 remaining.
All they have to do is get this one in, despite the close to 7 minutes left, Gib. They get a touchdown here. You've got to feel reasonably comfortable. Coaches never will. At least they would never admit it. Now Blanton Collier waves his arms in an effort to try to silence the crowd here who is shouting, "Go, go, go." First time I've seen him do that, but I don't watch Blanton too often during the game.
Hooker flank to the right. Jones out 4 to the left. Morin splits 2 to the right. Flip to Kelly, trying to turn left end. He's at the 15-yard line and pulled down at the 15 by Hicks and by Grantham and by Thomas. That'll be a pickup of 4 more yards. Second down and 6 on the Jets 15.
As he jumped into that group of tacklers there, he just kind of squeezed the ball a little tighter to his chest. This is what you don't want to do down here when you're on the move and ready to take the game out of reach of your opponent. You don't want to fumble like the Jets did. That's the reason the Browns got another life here.
And Kelly's up now to 58 yards.
And most of them this half.
Homer Jones flanks to the left. Morin's out 2 to the left. Hooker's out 7 at right end. Second down, 6 to go. Nelson hands off on the draw, and Bo Scott is nailed as soon as he gets the ball by Elliott and by Baker and by Thompson at the 20. We have a flag on the play. Backfield in motion. Cleveland declined by the Jets. Now it is third down. 11 to go at the 20. Down below, Don Cockloff has his place-kicking shoe on. That's the square-toed shoe, and he now puts the helmet on in case he's needed. The Browns need 11 yards for the first down, 20 for a touchdown. 6:03 to play. Browns lead by 10 points. Hooker flanks right. Morin's out 2 to the right. Homer Jones splits 5 at left end. Nelson to throw. Sets. Fires, flag, dropped down the holding on the play. It was thrown to Fair Hooker, and Steve Tannen was holding him so badly they could have put a saddle on him that time. They'll call it interference. First and goal on the 7-yard line.
That takes the Jet penalties up to 155 yards. They've had 16 of them. For 155, they call it pass interference on the 7 as Gib called, so it's first and goal to go. We're now at the 5:57 mark. Put it in, Browns, and you can relax a little.
First and goal on the 7, 5:57 to play. The Browns come out of the huddle with Homer Jones flanked to the left, and the ends are in. Nelson gives to Bo Scott. Trying to turn the corner, hit at the 10. He's going to be thrown out of bounds at the 11 by John Little, the rookie defensive left end who just came in on that play. It is second and goal at the 11. The Browns' sweeps have not been working except on those quick flips.
And Scott on that one got too far behind his interference. His interference was out in front of him about 6 yards, and that's too much. Allowed the defensive man to come in between him and get to Scott before he even got to the line of scrimmage. But they're still in good shape. Second and 11 now. And a field goal, as you know, you can add, would be a 13-point margin. It means a win for the Jets would necessitate 2 touchdowns.
Booker splits 5 to the right. Jones, flank left. Nelson to throw. Sets. Fires. It is overthrown at the goal line, intended for Milt Morin. Holloman was covering on the play. Hicks was with him. Had an eye on Bo Scott at the time. Bill Nelson didn't see him. Bo was wide open.
Oh, he was. He was wide open at the 10. Then he cut right in underneath the goal post, and he was open. But as we've observed so many times up here, Gib, it's real simple for us.
You ever notice at practice, Jim, standing behind the offense, you can't see anything.
All you have to do.
Terrible place to view a ball game is from down on the field when you're playing.
It always amazes me why some people who are close to ball clubs get field passes and go down there and watch it. I think that they'd rather be seen rather than watch the game themselves.
Both ends split. Jones flank left. Third down. Nelson throwing in the middle. Dropped by Milt Morin at the 5-yard line. Hicks was covering him. The Browns will go for the field goal. Of course, that would not have been a touchdown anyway. Milt he caught the ball, had 2 men with him.
The clock stops at 5:44, Gib. Still lots of time the way Joe Namath runs it.
Browns had it for over 5 minutes in that drive. Coach Kockoff, we take something for granted. He has to make this. 18-yarder angle right at the hash mark. Mike Pitts holding. Snap, spot, kicks up. It is no good. It's off to the right. There's an official timeout on the field with the score, the Browns 24, the Jets 14.
Finally, someone has built a small car a better way. One with all the best small car ideas like low price, simple maintenance, great gas mileage, easy handling, but
Better ideas make better cars. It's as simple as that.
we add better ideas like big car styling and big car zip. The car, the all-new Mercury Comet. Comet, with a peppy 170 cubic inch standard 6 and styling that looks as good as the big cars. Mercury Comet. Go for the 6 or a big V8. Pick 2 doors, 4 doors, or the bucket seat GT.
See the Mercury Comet at Underwood, Lincoln Mercury, 231 South Market Street in Worcester. It's the lowest priced Mercury you can buy.
Better ideas make better cars. It's as simple as that. Mercury makes better cars. That's the sign of the cat.
Walt Summers on the sideline. Freddie Summers, number 20, is in at his position. And you can expect Mike Howell to shade himself over to the right to help out Freddie, who hasn't had too much game action in that particular spot. Walt seems to be all right, but he's on the side.
Jets out of the huddle. Castor is back in at flanker. He is flanked to the right. Sauer is split 5, 6, 7 yards at the left end. Lamon's out a half yard on the right side. Namath back to throw. He fires. It is caught up at the 30. Boozer to the 35. I tell you, I think Namath threw that one almost sidearm to get rid of it in a hurry. But it got there. Andrews and Houston on the tackle. First down for the Jets. Picked up of about 14 yards. We'll mark it a little over the 34-yard line. 5:15 remaining. Jets trail by 10. Castor will flank right. Sauer out 5 at left end. Lamon splits a yard at right end. 5 minutes remaining. Namath to throw. Fires. It is caught by Castor at the 50, and he's pulled down by Kellerman on the Browns' 48-yard line. 17-yard pickup. 1st and 10 for the Jets. On the move. Of course, they got to fight the clock, too.
How would you like to be tuned in on the conversation between Mo Gillespie along with Howard Brinker and along with who's the linebacker, Eddie Ulinski, and all those men on defense trying frantically to stop this man who has now really shown that he is Joe Namath, the man who is so accurate.
Namath back to throw again. He fires. It is caught. Sauer at the 35 down on the 34-yard line by Fred Summers and by Andrews. Pick up of 14 yards. First down again for the Jets at the 33-yard line of the Browns. 4 minutes remaining. Namath hasn't scored yet, and he still has to fight the clock.
Taking them from the 20 down to the 33 in 3 plays, all completed passes.
Browns, of course, prefer to give him the short one. At least make him earn it. Well, they'll stop the clock to get a dry ball in. The referee, I think, has informed them the clock's going to start. It does. They did not get the clock stopped except to change the ball.
If this were AstroTurf, Gib, I think they'd be changing balls on every other play.
Right. Castor flank to the right. Sauer out 5 to the left. Lammons out a yard at right end. Namath to throw. He fires deep. Touchdown to Sauer. 33 yards. .322 remaining. 33-yard touchdown pass from Namath to Sauer.
Boy, if you're a Jet fan, that's about as pretty a series in 4 plays, all passes, 2 to Sauer, 1 to Castor, 1 to Boozer from the 20, 80 yards in 4 plays.
Now Turner to attempt the point. Sauer holding at the 10. Snap, spot, kicks up. It's good. There's an official timeout on the field. The score, the Browns 24, the Jets 21.
Getting involved and swinging with the times is the theme and the reason for Barney's Inn at Nick Amster's in Worcester. Barney Lehman has the reputation of being in the know when it comes to the latest, most up-to-date styles for men of all ages. And right now, the SEWS revolution is right on, brother, for all you young men with Barney's Inn, featuring the unsuit look. You don't have to spend a bundle to look like a million. Style is what makes the great ones great, and you'll find plenty of style in all the clothing you see at Barney's Inn. From fancy flare pants, tank tops, suede cowhide vests and jackets, bells, all displayed for easy selection. The latest fashions all hang out for you to mix and match to suit yourself. Be you in the clothes you wear from Barney's Inn at Nick Amster's. Young men who belong to the action generation are going to where the action's at. Barney's Inn at Nick Amster's in Worcester.
Joe Namath has just recorded his 17th game, passing for 300 yards or more. Unofficially, he stands at 303, 18 out of 30. Johnny Unitas has 25. Joe hasn't been around nearly as long, so you know what that particular statistic means. Jim Turner now, ready for the kickoff. Will he onside it or not?
Nope, he hit it. And it is Homer Jones at the goal line, 5-10. He's hit once, gets away to the 12, 15, left sidelines, out of bounds. On the 22-yard line. Jimmy Jones, the man who got him out of bounds. Well, now the offense carries the load for the Browns, trying to get at least 1 first down. Maybe we'll need 2. And, of course, the Jets' defense will try to prevent it.
Right here, the fact the Browns only have 1 timeout, as long as they hold on to the ball, this is fine. They don't care about calling it. They will get the timeout in 1 minute, 11 seconds down to the 2 minutes. The Jets have all 3 left.
Hooker flanks right. Homer Jones out 5 at left end. Morin out a half yard at right end. Give to Bo Scott, left guard, no hole. He's hit hard by Atkinson. Bo seemed a little hesitant going through the hole, and Atkinson slammed into him. And he got a half yard at best. 2:53 remaining. Clock is running. Browns lead by 3. It hasn't been this close since it hasn't been this close since it started. 7-0. Jones out 4 to the left. Hooker flank to the right. 2:34 remaining. Give to Kelly, right tackle to the 24. That's all. Atkinson again on it. So is Lomas. Left end. Thompson, the left tackle. John Damari is coming to the sideline. Jim Copeland in to replace him. John is losing his right shoe, and it's off.
I don't think he's injured at all. I think he just lost his shoe, and he's coming back, and I think he's going to tape it back on.
Jets have called a timeout, Jim. I don't know why. 2:10 remaining. They're going to get a timeout in 10 seconds anyway.
I don't know. I was surprised at that. The Browns desperately trying to pick up a first down here to hold on to the ball. Now they're faced with a third situation and still 7. Do you go to the air or do you stay on the ground? Well, the clock has stopped through the courtesy of the Jets. It's been a whale of an opening 1970 season football game here tonight. Lots of action. Lots of scoring back and forth. 14-0 first period, 14-7 halftime, and it was 24-14, now 24-21. Browns pretty much dominated the first half. Jets came back to dominate the second half, but that doesn't make any difference with whether you can put it in or you can put it through the uprights. As it stands now, it's a field goal by Don Cockcroft that spells the difference. On the 24-yard line, third down and a long 7.
There, Hooker flank to the right. Homer Jones out 3 at left end. Now they shift out of the eye. Homer splits 5 at left end. Morin out 2 at right end. Big play, third down 7. Nelson to throw. Sets, pumps. He can't find a man. He's going to run with it. He is to the 26 and 27, and that's all, and that means the Browns will have to punt. Grantham made the tackle with Atkinson. The 2-minute warning is coming.
Nelson is up, and he's okay.
2-minute warning. There's an official timeout on the field to score. The Browns 24, the Jets 21.
You can always trust your doctor's prescriptions to Stipes Drugstore in Worcester. Quality, service, convenience, those are the watchwords at Stipes. Stipes Drugstore always has an experienced registered pharmacist on duty from 9 a.m. until 11 at night, 7 days a week for your extra convenience. With free delivery and 24-hour emergency prescription service when needed. As a further convenience, Stipes always carries a full line of grocery items, dairy products, candy, tobacco products, film and film service, greeting cards, cosmetics, and gift items of all kinds. Stipes has one of the most complete and up-to-date cosmetic departments in the entire area, with all your favorite cosmetics in full selection. Famous products by Max Factor, Dana, and Corday, to mention just a few. For friendly, complete, and convenient service, it's Stipes Drugstore, East Liberty Street, across from the Penn Station in Worcester.
On the punt, the ball is picked up by Battle at the 10-yard line. He's hit at the 3, and he's down on the 2-yard line. He made a bad decision to pick up the ball. He let it bounce. He called for the fair catch and let the ball hit at the 30, and it rolled all the way to the 10. Battle picked it up at the 10-yard line and finally got nailed. They'll mark his forward progress at the 4-yard line.
I'll tell you, I think he thought that ball was going to go out of bounds because it was mighty close to the near sideline between the 25 and 20. That was definitely a Cleveland bounce, and he picked it up on the 10 and went back to the 4.
63-yard punt. Jets starting at the 4 with 1:38 remaining. Namath is running with the ball around the left sidelines, and he's knocked down at the 4-yard line. It must be a mix-up on the play. I see Matt Snell looking to Emerson Boozer and holding his hands out as if to say what happened. It's a yard loss for Namath.
He turned around to hand it off, and nobody was coming. The back, I don't know whether it was Snell or Boozer, was just sitting there.
Get a break after this play. Clock's running 1:20. Jets are 97 yards away from winning it. Browns lead by 3 points. The Jets huddling in the end zone. 2nd and 11. Walt Sumner's back in at right cornerback. Castor is the flanker to the right. Sowers splits 5 to the left. Lammons out a yard at right end. Namath in the end zone. Drills it. It batted away in the end zone by one of the Browns linemen. I think it was either Gregory or Shirk, Gib. I think it was Shirk. Let's take 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Cleveland Browns Football Network.
High school, the College of Worcester, Ohio State Buckeyes, and Cleveland Browns football on WWST FM stereo in Worcester.
Not too bad an opening game, is it? 53 seconds left. third and 11. Jets on their own 3. Castor flanks right. Slot back to the left is Boozer. Namath to throw. Fires. It is caught. And it is a completed pass. Then out of bounds goes George Sauer at the 18-yard line. It's a first down. Well, nobody from the Browns defense griped at it. Some of the fans did. Maynard back in the ball game, replacing Castor at flanker.
Now they've got to be sorry they called that timeout. They still have 2 left, but they can always use another one, and they're at the 47-second mark.
Browns, of course, will try not to allow the deep pass, I assume. Maynard flank right, Sauer outside to the left. Lammons out a half yard at right end. Namath back to throw. Fires in the middle. It is intercepted by Billy Andrews on the 25-yard line. Andrews to the 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown Cleveland. Intercepted a Joe Namath pass and ran it 25 yards through the Jets and through pandemonium to win the ball game just now for the Cleveland Browns. Mike Phipps holding, and Don Cockroft will tack on the point. It's up. It's good. We have 35 seconds remaining in the ball game, and the Browns lead 31-21 in a breather.
Another one of those cakewalks, Gib, that we constantly refer to up there. 31-21 now. Billy Andrews, who is not among the starting unit in the defensive backfield. And his position is backing up John Darlington as the left linebacker. And he came through with the interception, and I can't recall that Billy has ever intercepted one before. Make it Dale Lindsey. He backs up on the right side. But I would have to assume that that is Billy's first touchdown as a member of the Cleveland Browns. But we'll probably have him. We'll try to get him on the air. I'm sure he'll be surrounded by gobs of reporters, but we'll try to have him as one of our interviewees on our locker room report, which is going to follow in about 10 minutes. 35 seconds now. Don Cockroft giving it back to the Jets. Bell and Battle are deep. It's well hit. Battle taking it 4 yards deep, drops it, picks it up, now stays there with it, and the Jets will start at the 20. And that absolutely used up no time, because in the last 2 minutes you wait for the ball to hit the receiver and for him to start running. He did not run, so it didn't use up any time. And Al Woodall is the new quarterback. Joe Namath is not on the field. Among other things, there's no reason for the Jets to get Namath hurt, because he can't win it with 35 seconds. Exactly.
They're very wise. So Woodall will run the ball club the last few plays. And he has the 2 new running backs with him also, White and Knock. Joe Jones hits Woodall, and he is down. Gregory helped wrap him up. Joe Jones hit him first. Then Jack Gregory put the icing on it. That's back on the 11. It is a good thing Namath was not in, although he's getting his knees banged up. Clock shows 8 seconds. Now it shows 28 seconds. Didn't miss by much. Okay, the Jets ready to play. They have Namath on the sidelines as Woodall drops back to throw. Fires. Incomplete and almost intercepted by Walt Sumner on the 20. He had it, turned around, and dropped it. Clock shows 4 seconds. Well, the fans are kind of giving it to Namath now. not completely necessary. He's defeated. That's enough. Ball's on the 11-yard line. Time for one more play. Woodall, the quarterback. Back to throw at the 2. Fires, caught by Wayne Stewart. Gun sounds. That's it. That's the end of tonight's game with the final score. The Browns 31, the Jets 21.
This area's most complete lumber yard is the Worcester Lumber Company. The big inventory there saves you a lot of time and money. And the friendly folks at Worcester Lumber try their best to do both for you. Louis Carter has a couple of predictions which should interest anyone considering building this year. First of all, it'll cost considerably more to build during the latter part of this year than it does right now. Another observation by Louis merits the thought, should a housing boom develop, building materials will become very scarce. And so it would seem the better plan of action would be to make your plans now for any building you plan to do this year. If you decide to save money by doing all or part of your building yourself, then Worcester Lumber is the place to buy those materials. They'll help you select the correct materials and save you both time and money. If you need it for building, Worcester Lumber Company has it. The store hours are 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. On Saturday, they're open from 7:30 in the morning to 4 in the afternoon. Get those building supplies now and beat the price rise.
Well, the Browns opened the 1970 season with a 31-21 win over the New York Jets, and it went right down to the final minute before it was decided. So history has repeated itself as the Browns opened in the All-America Conference with a victory, joined the National Football League in 1950 with a victory, and now in the new merged league as a part of the American Conference of the NFL, open it with a victory. And it should be noted that Weeb Eubank, the losing coach for the Jets, walked out to midfield to shake hands and exchange a few greetings with his old friend and the winning coach, Blanton Collier, after this game tonight.